Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, today, in today's society, everybody talking about healing, or at least that's what I be hearing, healing language everywhere, fitness gurus, people want to show you how they food look and how to make recipes and tell you how to be a better person. And, all of these big conversations on social media and group chats, on podcasts. But before when you sent the topic, I was thinking, because I'm reading this book, right? Let me just tell you, it's called The Salt Eaters, and it's really good. And it made me start thinking about the topic because the very first line in the book say, "Are you sure, sweetheart, that you really want to be well?" And I think, you know, healing, it sound good until you start doing the work. You know what I mean? So, today's episode, I'm asking like a really simple question. Are people truly healing, or are people just talking about it? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well let me jump right in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hell no, they not healing. Everybody, I'm gonna be honest with you. People are not healing. They don't want to heal. They don't want to do the work. That's why a lot of motherfuckers are single right now because nobody putting up with that shit. A person who is healed not putting up with no bullshit. Period. They don't give a fuck what you talking about, and that's how where I'm at with it. It ain't that I can't. I'm like just I ain't got no choice to be single. I'm not putting up with no bullshit. You broke? Hell no. You too motherfucking old to still be having money problems. You ain't got no car? Hell no. Cause who the fuck finna keep picking your ass up? Nah, I. You ain't got your own crib and you at home with your parents or you staying with 6 niggas in one house? Hell no. Because you too
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking old for that shit. That shit's stupid. And so no, people are not healing. They don't want to do the work. They too scared to open up and just be vulnerable. I think when you heal, especially men, let's talk about like men don't like to be vulnerable. Period. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
because to them being vulnerable means weak. And if you think about it, when we be in those groups and everybody meditating, we all talking, they ask you like, "Hey, black man, who do you like confide in when you hurting? Like, who do you talk to when you trying to heal, when you having issues and you going through your emotional whatever?" And I feel like I know that especially for straight women, they don't want to hear, no man talking about he having a bad day or he feeling emotional and nothing like that. Because as a man, emotional means weakness. They either think something wrong with you, you weak, or you gay. That's what they think.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling like it's hard. And even with women, women don't want to heal. I was in Orlando and I got a friend, beautiful woman, Shayla. She Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Young, 35. She been with this nigga who been cheating on her since they been together. And they got 3 kids together. She been with this man 15 years. And I'm like, well, why won't you leave him? He cheating on you right now. The bitch is trolling you on Facebook and then emailing your boss. Like, that's why I draw the line, bitch. You fucking with my money. And
Yep.
that'll make me pull up.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't think people trying to heal, they don't want to heal. They okay with being fucked up because it's easier being fucked up. You don't have to do the work. You don't have to acknowledge that at some point your faults, the things that you doing
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So hell nah. What you think, E?
Well, I personally think that it's a trend. And so, you know how people like to jump on trends. So now everybody in their healing era. Remember a couple of years ago, everybody wanted to be soft girls.
I
Um,
think that's a part of that healing trend too, E, but go ahead.
yeah, I honestly think that when you are hurt enough and your back is against the wall, that's when you start doing the work. Just because it's a
Mm-hmm.
trending topic or everybody's doing it or I'm healing, I'm in my healing era. If you in your healing era, you ain't got to tell nobody. They gonna see it.
For real.
So I just honestly think that it's a trend. I think that people think that it's cute or somebody that they like or some famous celebrity said we healing and now everybody in their healing era. You know what I mean? But they like you
Mm-hmm.
said, not doing the work. And I'm with you. I'm not dealing with none of it. I'm not dealing with none of it. I take, what you just said, like it's stupid, but I feel like at what age do you think it's okay for you to be staying with a house full of niggas? Or what age
Or
do
with a
you
house full of bum ass bitches too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
yeah,
both.
at what point is, getting a bottle, smoking some weed, hanging on the porch, going to the hood? When is that over?
And I
When is
mean,
that over?
these niggas and these bitches be kicking and screaming, having a whole fit because they can't smoke no blunt. And I'm like, look, we all like, a little marijuana. That's cool, but I'm not finna have
mm-hmm,
no hissy fit if I ain't got none.
See, that's the problem.
yeah,
See, when you're healing, you gonna have your means to do whatever it is that you need to do. So
yeah.
if you in your healing era, some fucking marijuana ain't gonna make or break you.
That's true. That's true.
Or a
And I
joint.
like that y'all both said like it's almost like not the healing part, right? People avoiding look like taking the trauma or the pain or the whatever it is head on, especially in today's society, right? Because you could kind of cover yourself up with social media. Or you could be on social media, you could put a background up, you could put your best outfit on, you know what I'm saying? And you could pretend like everything good, then you get off and you crying, or I know a bunch of people who be like, oh, you don't know how many pictures it took for me to get to this picture that I posted. You know what I mean? That's almost like one of those same things where you just avoiding what the truth is. Like you,
Yeah.
you, and not to say everybody is being performative, right? Because some people being scammers and grifters for real and
Yeah.
using it to make money, and they might be doing some of the work, but they ain't doing the work for the right reason. But I do really feel like in the grand scheme of things, if you're posting it online every day, I got a group called Healthy Habits on Facebook. Me and my wife, we run the group. We got like 300 or 400 people in there. I'm not posting my journey every day online. I share tips and tricks of stuff that I do. I put hella books right here on my table just so I could talk about this. Cause this is another thing. What I'm talking about grifting, right? I done spent probably thousands of this ain't all of them. I got like 3 stacks of these books on my table. I done spent hell of money.
Just order Eating Right for Your Blood Type.
Eating Right for Your Blood Type is a good ass book. Another book that I suggest to anybody is The Myth of Being Normal, because it actually speak on you not having to try to be like this trend that we said, trying to be like everybody else. Like you can actually be your damn self and be healed, because healing look different for everybody. You know what I'm
It
saying?
does.
It look different for everybody. I really feel like two things. One, the trend is something that people what they say, people want like that instant gratification, like crack, right? You get that one good hit, now you still buying crack. So these hearts and these likes and these comments, it's almost like crack to people. So some people be going to the gym doing all of that stuff for the crack hit, and not the crack hit at the gym that they get from the working out, because they recording themselves working out half naked.
But it's an addiction. The
Yeah,
problem
it's
is,
an
so you know
addiction.
what I noticed, and I'm gonna just keep it 100 about my own journey. Like 2023, people didn't even know what I was going through. Like, I
Same
was
here.
like E, at one point I was working for this dead end job, and I wind up quitting. I didn't have and that ain't like me, but they was pissing me out so bad. It's only so much that I could do, but I wind up quitting, and I didn't have a backup. But normally, like, by the grace of God, I always bounce back quickly. I always had like something going on right away, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get that. So I had saved enough money to pay my rent for like 3 or 4 months. But then when that money was gone, and I was living in Memphis, Tennessee, you know what I'm saying? And when that money was gone, my grandma had got sick. She had cancer.
Mm.
So nobody was able to take care of her but me, because I'm the one that ain't working. And so I had to move back to Chicago and live with her. But she only lasts, I think she lived till like February
Damn.
2024. And so when she died, I was living in her place with her, because my plan was to stay there, get on my Social Security, get back on my feet. But the problem is she died. And so they wanted me gone in March. And so I had
Right.
to bounce around. I had to go to a friend's house in April, but we had kind of passwords because they was running a trap house. I ain't got time for that. And then I went and stayed with Aisha. You know Aisha.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when I got, not that one though, Erica know who I'm talking about. I was
I thought
staying
you were
with
talking
her.
about from my phone.
And
Okay.
I was staying with her, and when I was staying with her, I seen a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And I would normally not see it because I be in my own world. I do. I be in my own bubble. A lot of times I don't know what's going on. But just staying with her, staying with my baby sister, not Netta, my sister Shantae. You know, I'm
Hmm.
around these people and I was disgusted. Like some of the stuff they going through and dealing with, it's a lot. And they not trying to heal like y'all said. And even with me, when I knew I had to heal, I was angry. I wanted to hurt people. Like I was like, oh,
Me
what's
too.
up? Like, and
Yep.
so when I moved to Milwaukee and I was homeless, living in the shelter, that's when I started seeing a therapist. You know, I started going to her. She started helping me figure out what was going on, my trauma, my childhood, like stuff like that. And so when people talk about healing, I know what that is because I had to do it. I had to be like,
Yeah.
look, you
Yeah,
the
you gotta
problem.
take the steps.
Yeah.
You gotta walk the walk. You gotta cry the tears. You gotta feel the pain. You gotta
Yep.
feel the heartache. Cause I feel like if you haven't hit the point of like I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. My heart hurt. My tears. My ass hurt from crying. My back against the wall. Like, what is it? What am I doing wrong? I mean, all those questions. Then I feel like people really don't get to heal. You know what I mean? Because you ain't really
Yep.
had no obstacle to come across or really something a hurdle to jump over. You know, I was looking at I was on TikTok just scrolling right, and I
Mm.
was so baffled by the amount of 35 and older women on fucking TikTok dancing, doing
All day.
TikTok. I feel like I don't know why that bothers me.
Well, it should bother you because bitches is too old to be pop locking dropping it on fucking TikTok. And bitch, you
Hmm.
barely got a job. And I'm sick of people making social media like it's a lifestyle. It's not.
It's not.
Live your real life. I had to tell my sister that. My baby sister got both of her kids. She got a 15-year-old, my niece, and she got a 12-year-old, my nephew. And all they do all day is be on TikTok. They on Instagram. They online. And don't get me wrong, I like a good laugh. I get on there. I might get social media
Yep.
because we got to promote, and that's how we make our money. You know, a lot of us
Yep.
is making money on social media. But I
Yep.
give it a good hour and I'm tired. I don't want to be on social media all day. I got a real life to live. I got shit going on. And
I
so
feel
I
you.
can't be on TikTok all day. And I can dance my ass off, but I'm not finna be on there pop locking and dropping on no fucking TikTok for no challenge. Cause I
Man.
got better shit to do. So I feel
Wait,
you,
wait,
E.
look. That lead me to the next question because that is I definitely agree with you on the TikTok. I do agree with the like oversaturation of uh, upper age adults doing shit that kids should be doing, or that that's more catered towards kids. But that make me think about when did this become not just a trend, right, but acceptable or promoted the way that it is? Because I have a my Instagram page for my starving student. It's all about health stuff, right? But it really come from me healing myself. That's why I got all these books and I got H-wave machines and all of this shit to try to get my body back together. And I started following a lot of these accounts that I feel like was like really doing the work, talking about ancestral healing, talking about um healing your fascia and breath work and all of these different things. And some of those suggestions came from me, having to go to physical therapy and, all the doctors that I had to see for what's going on with my body. But at some point, I know the algorithm just feeds you what you're looking at, right?
Mhm.
But at some point, I start to notice, like, wait, even people who wasn't doing this before now all of a sudden claiming that they are a guru of health and they come giving you these recipes and I'm look I mess with the herbs. I understand herbs. I grow herbs. I'm looking at some of these herbal recipes, people talking about I'm a Sabi baby and that. Boy, you lying like a motherfucker. None of that what? That stuff not helping you. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to make some money like you said earlier, some people is really, they own Instagram and on these social medias. So my question is, when do y'all think this really became like not just a trend, but socially acceptable where people don't have no shame in doing this shit? Cause that's what I feel like. It's that they don't have no shame. When these kids, you had, people pointed at you and talked shit about you when you was doing some just off the wall, out of the ordinary, like, and I don't like using the word weird because I'm a weird ass nigga myself, but not like that. So when you're doing some weird shit, people called you out on it, and nobody don't get called out. So when did this shit just become so acceptable and so cool to just be like that?
Well, E, I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead.
You muted or something. What the hell?
Okay, I think I can hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you now.
Okay, I feel like COVID opened the door for it.
I was just gonna say
2020.
that 2020 COVID.
I feel like COVID opened the door for all the bullshit, all the scammers, all the get overs, all
The
the
scammers, E. Definitely the scammers.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the pyramid schemes, all the take this class, whatever. And it became more normal for me to sell myself on social media because I can sell you a dream. I can tell you, I mean, I can go rent a hotel room, make you think it's my house. I can go.
Mm-hmm.
How they renting cars nowadays?
Yeah.
I can go
Yeah.
get a luxury car, take
Yeah.
all the pictures. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I can go to Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton and go in there, and I can sell you an illusion. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And because we behind this keyboard and this is all we had for a whole year, you know, we can't go outside 6 feet. Uh, you know,
Social distancing and shit.
and I just felt like it just opened up the avenue 100% to be like, yep, this it right here. This it. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna jump on this right here. And so it's a continuous cycle, and that's just what it is. It's not gonna get stopped. It opened
Mm-hmm.
up the door. Right now we out. It's like the bag. We out the bag. Here we are.
But it wasn't even that there was ever a bad. People been doing it. It's just like you said, it became acceptable in 2020
Yeah.
when COVID
Yeah.
hit. Because I mean, think about it, like dating. Remember, we actually used to go outside. We try to meet our little people in the grocery store, at the club. Now
Mm-hmm.
everybody is on these dating apps, and they everywhere. Like I want y'all to think about it. When you on Facebook, you on Instagram. Look at how many dating apps they got. They got
Gay, Christian, uh, trans, gay.
Cowboys. Everything.
weird. They even got one for the weird shit. You know, if you like to dress up in what they call it, where they be dressing up as anime and shit. What they cosplay,
Yeah. Cosplay.
cosplay.
Yep. Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's like now they got so many dating apps that it makes it hard to have a conversation with somebody in real life. And you know they awkward when
Yeah.
they talking to them face to face. But on
Yeah.
social media they like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. And then when you meet them, you like, yo, weird ass. Like, what is you talking about? And so I
Yeah.
don't even be wanting to shit on nobody. I just feel like for some they took the what is it like the human quality out of mingling with people.
The human
It's
body
like
and the
now,
phone and the phone. Because you think about it, if you go in a restaurant and you see somebody, you can see 5 people at a dinner table having
and
dinner.
they all on
Mm-hmm.
their phone.
And
They
they
all on
all
their
on their
phone.
phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's somebody I was watching where they was doing this challenge. Now, mind you, they doing this challenge online, right? They doing the challenge where whoever pulled their phone out first got to pay for the meal. Nigga, you recording? Your phone is out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That don't even make sense.
But I felt
Your
like the
phone
same
out,
thing.
you lost.
When I was in Orlando, we had went to IHOP and my friend, she took us out for breakfast or whatever. And she was on like 6 calls. And we were sitting there and I'm like, I'm kind of looking at my phone, but I don't want to be rude. But she like talking to all these different people. And then she talking to us. Then she talking to them. Then she talking. I'm just like, damn, I can't keep up. What is going on? And so it's really bad. I think It's not
People
gonna
be
get
all
better.
over the place. People be all over the place. They don't have any structure. They don't have any boundaries. They don't have any morals. They don't have any goals. They don't set dreams. You know what I'm saying? They don't have dreams. They don't
Mm-hmm.
set goals. You really need to manifest. You really need to eat, think, shit, breathe, whatever it is that you believe in. You know what I mean? Like you don't have time for the other shit. So I feel like when you get in that mode, then you really are in healing mode. You really trying
Mm-hmm.
to for the prize. You trying to be the
Mm-hmm.
better. You know what I mean? I can't heal and I'm still cussing people out. I can't heal and I'm still trying to be conniving. I
It's
can't
Yeah.
heal and
okay
I'm
to cuss.
still
It's okay. Now wait. It's okay to cuss motherfuckers
no,
out
because
though.
I was really quick to cuss people out. So I'm trying to get over that. I'm trying to be able to navigate my feelings or either walk away or either being able to have a conversation with you and cut you up without using profane language. You know what I
But
mean?
you
Yeah.
know
Because
what, E?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this to you, especially what you gotta learn how to do is check a bitch professionally. Meaning that when you
yeah,
checking
and that's
and
what,
when I say professional, I'm not talking about like you trying to be proper giving customer service. I'm saying
no.
doing it where you don't step out of your element at all. You doing
Yeah.
it in a
Yeah.
way where you definitely cutting deep. Cause I'm one of them. I have to be careful
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
say, cause people be wanting to like hurt me when I
yeah,
start talking. Yeah,
Look,
like I
even
remember.
though I ain't seen you do that, I feel like because of the conversations, you know what I'm saying, that you can do that, that you already mastered that craft. But think about this, right? When and first let me say this, let me preface with this. I agree. I do agree because I'm the type of person that do that too, right? Because I'm like a no nonsense type of person. So it's like you really don't even get one chance with me. You know what I'm saying? You get the attempt, and I'm cutting your ass off. We done.
that
We,
part
I'm,
right there.
yeah. But that make me feel like when do people start using the excuse of um oh man, when do people start using the excuse of, I'm trying to protect my peace to just keep on being a shitty person to people, right? Because I know some people who is like, oh, I'm just trying to protect my peace when it's really like, no, you actually isolating yourself. You actually making things worse for yourself because now you in this whole little bubble over here by yourself and nobody don't like you. Because you know what I'm saying? You're an annoying person and you think you right all the time, so you want to cut people off and just check people all the time. When really, you need to check your damn self.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this, and I'm going off of the name of our podcast. Absolutely no excuses. I
Come
feel
on,
like the problem that I have with people is that I do a lot of stuff and I'm disabled. I'm taking the garbage out. I'm lifting heavy stuff.
come on,
I
bro.
was working. I was hustling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out doing DoorDash. So for
Mm-hmm.
So
me,
you got the same 24 hours we all got, right?
that's what I'm saying. You absolutely right. And I feel like the thing that
Mm-hmm.
bothered me, I was still living in Milwaukee and I was at the light. And this dude knocked on my window and I don't like that because that'll get your ass shot. Let's just start with that. But he was like, bro, you think you could loan me $10? My car. He was like, you say what?
You didn't notice, dude? He just walked
He
up.
just walked up. Hell nah, cause I be in my own world. I do. Like I don't be paying too much attention. I'm paying attention, but I'm not. And so he walked up, knocked on the window. I let it down just enough to, respond to his whole ass. He was like, you think you could loan me $10? My car ran out of gas. I say, well, was you on your way to work? He like, nah, well, hell no, I wasn't
This
gonna pay
nigga.
$10. I'm like, what the fuck are you driving? I say, why would you be riding and you ain't got no fucking gas and you ain't got no job? Where the
Mm-hmm.
fuck you going with your unemployed ass? And so he like, well, I just no excuses, nigga. You too old. You a grown ass able nigga. Not that he
Mm-hmm.
disabled or nothing. This nigga walking better than me. Hands work. Get your ass out there and go pick up a box or something, nigga. Deliver some packages. Do some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is you expecting a motherfucker to take care of you? And another thing I don't like, ain't nobody friendlier than a motherfucker who need a place to stay. All of a sudden they in love.
That's the
They
truth.
what's up, babe? Let's be
Yeah,
BFFs. Let's do
yeah.
this. And I be looking like, who the fuck is these people? How do you even, where you come from? Who sent you?
Law of
Yeah.
attraction, Leroy. The law of attraction.
Ain't no
Why you
long
looking
time,
for?
bitch. You don't like me and you broke and you ain't got shit. No, you don't. Get your ass out of here.
You like yourself and you broke.
People.
I know. I remember I was talking to my little friend and I was talking to him and walking. That motherfucker's like, I ain't gonna lie. I felt like you never really liked me or whatever till I got that job. I say, you absolutely right. When you said $30 an hour, that's when you became interested.
That makes sense to me though. That makes sense to me, right? Because when you got priorities for yourself, you expect those same priorities in the person that you're dealing with, right? And you expect them, I ain't gonna just say like a hustler or a go-getter, because even that is like a part of that whole, trend and scheme and stuff. Because we seen real hustlers back in the day. They weren't promoting that shit. You knew they was a hustler because you saw the type of lifestyle they was living. But if you're doing right for yourself, you want somebody that's doing right for them too. Like going back to what you said about your homegirl, and I don't know her personally, so I ain't shitting on her. But what I'm saying is, she obviously doing something for herself because she able to take care of kids. You was at her crib and shit. But then she got a nigga who ain't doing nothing for himself, or if he is, he ain't, he not sharing that with her because he's running around doing some crazy shit. So that don't make sense to me.
But that's the thing. When people in their healing era, they all on the same accord. So wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
nobody that's in their healing era be dealing with that bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she not in her healing area. I'm healing, what like era. That's what I'm trying to say. She not there
Yeah.
yet. Like, and
Yeah.
she 5 years young. Well, she way younger than me actually, cause she 35. Shit, but I'm feeling like she not there yet because she haven't learned to love herself, and that's what I tell
That's what it's
people.
about.
It
That's
starts
about.
with you.
Yeah.
When you
Look,
love
like,
yourself, you
I,
ain't
I
gonna allow motherfuckers.
was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
what I was gonna say is that was gonna be another question. So I'm happy that you was leading into that, but go with it, and then I'll say the actual question that I was gonna ask.
The problem is healing start with you. It start with loving yourself. You should not like. I know people that they can't sit in the house by themselves. Shit, I be in this motherfucker by myself all the time.
Me
Days at
too.
a time.
Me
I
too.
know people
Me
who
too.
cannot. They don't know how to heal when they bumping in, jumping in and out of relationships. It's just like you
Mm-hmm.
just broke it off with one and it was bad. Take some
Mm-hmm.
time, figure it out, heal. I know people that they gotta be doing something, and I hate that. I hate a motherfucker because I'm chill. I could sit in my crib and chill, sleep all motherfucking day if I want to.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But you
Yep.
got people that gotta run the streets. They
Mm-hmm.
look. Let's go here. Go. No, you not finna wear me out, bitch. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not going nowhere. And boundaries. When I tell you something, like if I tell you you can come and see me Thursday at 2 p.m. and you show up
What I
at 4
mean.
p.m., your ass getting ignored because I set a boundary with you
Oh
for
yeah.
a reason
Yeah.
so that it works with my schedule. It's not about what you want, it's what I want. And so I
Yeah.
kind of had this problem with these damn Mormons. They showed their ass up. I told them 2 o'clock. They come in 4, and they ass was sitting outside. I'm not answering y'all because I told your ass 2 o'clock for a reason.
Hey,
Now I'm ready to take me an adult now. And so
look,
the answer is no.
I know my people gonna be watching this, and they will tell you. And hopefully, any of my people watch this, tell them. Make sure to reply in the comments about this. If you knock on my door unannounced, you will know I'm in the house and I ain't coming to the door. Cause who sent you, nigga? If we ain't scheduled you coming, I will text you while you at my door and be like, not today. Cause and it's not avoidance or isolation. It's really for me those boundaries that got to be set. Look, I won't answer my phone for people. I'm a texting person. You call my phone and I ain't feeling good, I ain't answering my phone. I will instantly. I got replies already made up, especially like for my family and stuff. But I do, so I could quick reply. What you want? Like I be saying what's the word, nerd, to a lot of people. What's the word, nerd? You know what I'm saying? I ain't feeling good. Whatever. And I don't like saying that I ain't feeling good. I had it was last Friday, matter of fact, a week ago. I might have said this in the podcast. I don't think so because I don't remember hearing me say it, but I might have talked about it when we was talking afterwards. But a week ago, I'm talking with one of my mentors and 2 of my guys, right? And we talking like we talking on the computer. And And I said, man, my body messed up. And he said, stop saying that. He said, your body ain't messed up. Your body doing what it's supposed to do so you don't hurt yourself. So, stop saying that. So, and I mean, it only been a week. But all of those little replies or little shit I've been saying to people, I've been saying that instead of being like, my body messed up or, I ain't feeling good. But I'm going to go into the question because I talk too much about that. But and it was because you said that about her age, right? And for me, it's like, although this like a whole different kind of healing journey that I'm going on, because it's more of a physical pain instead of like a trauma pain or emotional pain or spiritual pain. I feel like I healed those things, not completely, but I've been working on those things for a very long time, especially coming from where we come from. I do feel like I dealt with a lot of trauma on a different level, though. Maybe not like in my some in my household. I ain't gonna lie and say maybe not in my household, but on a different level just because of the type of person that I was. You know what I mean? I did deal with different kind of traumas, and I done healed from them things. Even with what we was talking about with the church and stuff, that was a level of emotional, spiritual, and mental trauma for me. You know what I'm saying? That I had to kind of work through on my own because there was really nobody to answer them questions. But what age do y'all think people start really looking at, damn, it's something that's hurting me on the inside that I got to work with to present as the better person on the outside, not just for the world, but for themselves, their family, their job, whatever people value. Where y'all think that start at? Because I know a lot of young men, and Leroy, you pointed out something earlier about men not wanting to be vulnerable. And I don't know if y'all really mess with Keke Palmer like that, but she just did a podcast. She got a podcast, and she did an interview with what's that brother name? Durant. He could sing his ass off. I can't think his name. Hold on. But she did an interview with him, and he was speaking about exactly what you were saying, Leroy, about how men don't want to be vulnerable. He was even talking about how dudes be wanting to go back to jail because, that's where they want to be. They want to be in jail. That's where they feel the most comfortable at. So when do y'all think that people really start to say, hey, it's time for me to heal, or it's time for me to look out for me and better myself? Because I don't really see young men doing that. I see young men following the trends of, I want to gang bang. I want to get this money. I'm trying to get these bitches, so I got to get this money. I want to look better than this other. Like, it's performative to the point where it's disrespectful to themselves. It might not even be as disrespectful to the community because nobody ain't paying you no attention. You disrespecting yourself because you ain't trying to change. Durant, that's who it was. That nigga, he could sing his ass off. But watch that interview, please.
Yeah, I don't think it's an age to that. I just think that it's life experiences. It's like where you are in life. It's like life experiences. Because I do know people who like have lost parents younger, and to me, I feel like they went on a healing journey a little earlier than mine. I just feel like it just depends on where you are in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had to go through divorce, fighting motherfuckers, just domestic violence relationship. Just I had to go through all that to realize that I needed and I wanted to heal. My mother. Just I the older I get, the more I realize. When I was younger, I always used to be like, I don't have daddy issues. My daddy was in and out of my life. I ain't give a fuck. When he said he was coming over, I was like, Mom, can I go outside? My brother would be in the window waiting for him, not me. You know what I mean? Like, I already knew which ass was on. But the older I got, I realized like I did have daddy issues. I suppressed them though. It's just like it was like, he is who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the long run, it bothered me. And I didn't realize that until I got older. So I just feel like it's just certain life-changing experiences. It's not really a certain age. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have an age.
Wait, Leroy, before you answer, let me just ask E one quick follow-up question about the daddy situation, right? Because that's something, and losing a parent. I know people who have lost a parent. crazy enough, in 2019, I'm flying to Chicago for my grandma's funeral, and on the same day, my brothers come to pick me up from the airport. I got a different daddy from them. They daddy have a heart attack and passed, and so and that's what I really wanted Yachi to be talking about, how he dealing with that trauma right now. You know what I mean? Because that's something that really shook him up. But how how do you think you would have been different? And of course, it's hypothetical because you can't really know. But how do you think you would have been different if your father was in your life to an extent where it felt like what you think it should have felt like? If that makes
I
sense.
got, I got an answer for that. I think that I would have been more feminine. I think I would have been more like a soft girl. I think that I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be independent. I think that, but this is just my thoughts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because when he did come back in my life, he gave me all that. He gave me this that feeling of I am your father. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to be my little girl. You know what I mean? Like, as crazy as it sounds, I know that that was my issue. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, I couldn't admit it, but now I can. But then that has a lot to do with growing, and I didn't realize that until my daddy was gone.
Okay,
Man.
so I'm gonna give
And
you
my
two
daddy,
answers, and I'm piggybacking off of what he said. So I'll start with the.
Leroy, I was gonna ask you too, because even from when we was younger, I know how close you and your mama was. Like we loved your mama in the building. You know that your mama was, and I ain't trying to put her business out there, but your mama had the good weed, and she knew I smoked.
She
Your mama
did.
was weed. You know what I'm saying? And my
Look,
mama wasn't tripping because I was with your mama. You know what I'm saying?
when I turned 25, me and my mama smoked our first blunt together. She had never let me smoke with her, and I never would because I respected my mom. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, so I'm gonna go back to the age thing after this. But when it comes to parents, I never cared if my dad was around because my mama was strong enough to love me for the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that my dad is a Gemini. Let's start there. He's a real asshole.
Mm-hmm.
His dad won shit. You know what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
granddad had 9 kids. My grandma died the year I was born, 1983, which is my dad's mom, and he abandoned all them and moved with some bitch with her kids and took care of her. And so my
Damn.
dad never seen a good father, so of course he not a good father.
Yeah, and that example is important. I feel you.
He is he has a lot of trauma that he haven't dealt with, and he, like you said, I used to be so upset with him, but now I'm just like, I ain't going. Like, I don't really talk to my dad because he don't know how to be a dad. And then even if he did, I'm glad he wasn't in my life because he was in my sister's life and she fucked up. Like, not Netta, but my other sister, Shantae, my baby sister. He was in her life and raised her, and she fucked up. Like, her parenting and the way her mom parented her with my dad, like, shit, she fucked up. Me and Netta the best thing that out of all his kids, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad he wasn't around. Of course, I felt like if my dad was around, I would be a little different. But my dad didn't play baseball with me. He didn't play basketball with me. He didn't teach me how to fix a engine or a car. He wasn't around for that. That wasn't his thing either. And so
Yeah.
my mom was very important, and when she died in 2010, it still bothered me because that was my best friend. Me and my mom was
Mm-hmm.
doing shit. She knew everybody I dated. She knew everything about me. You know, she came to visit me when I was living here in Houston, and so that her leaving, it took a big chunk out of my life. It bothered me. You know what I'm saying? But I had my grandma. And now
Yeah.
that she gone, it's just me, my sister, and it's fucked up because it's just us.
Yeah.
We don't got all the answers, and so we gotta kind of lean on each other when we going through it. And I
Is
feel
you
like
and
it's
your
this.
still super tight like that, Leroy?
Yeah, I just talked to my sister earlier. Me and that are still super tight. I hang with my sister. That's my best friend, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the same for E. You know, E, they was real close with their mama. Her, Henry, and Tamika. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like now that she gone, and then Henry gone, Big Hen Dog gone now, it's just Erica and Tamika. It's Erica, how do you deal with that? Like, how is it when you and
Yeah.
Tamika going through stuff? Do y'all, cause it gotta bring y'all closer. It's just y'all now.
That's a good
it,
question.
definitely brought us closer, even though we were already close. It definitely brought us closer. But me being the oldest of my little sister, because I was the middle child,
Mm,
to be honest with you, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot, Leroy, because now she's my little sister. You know what I mean? She got little
yeah,
kids. They don't
yeah.
have a grandmother, so I'm grandma auntie. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Hmm.
Auntie grandma. You know what I mean? Or like
yeah,
it's just me and my sister. That's my little sister. I'm gonna always be her big sister. So I carry a lot. I carry a lot because I'm gonna make sure my sister's straight. I'm gonna make sure she don't have to need for anything. I'm gonna make sure her kids don't have to need for anything. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
But it definitely brought us closer. And I just don't understand how siblings have that rivalry anyway because I just didn't have it. We didn't have it when my mother was
Man,
here. We're not gonna definitely have it when she. We have our
But I mean,
disagreements. We have our disagreements, but it has taught me. It has taught me that she is all that I got. You know what I mean? It definitely has
yeah,
taught. It has definitely taught me
yeah.
that she's really all that I got. I got
so
my
I
kids.
hate.
Hmm,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
we
ahead.
got our kids, but I feel like we all we got. You know, my mother didn't. My mother don't have any living siblings, so I don't have any aunts, no uncles.
Oh, so you everything to the family though.
You are now. Shit. That's kind of
Yeah,
that's. But you
yeah.
know
So
what?
what?
I
Sorry,
had.
I was gonna try to share my screen to show this book. It's a good book, right? It's called My Grandma's Hands, right? And I would really, for both of y'all, but Erica, I would really love if you check it out, right? It's about racialized traumas and like ways to mend your heart and your body, but it's specifically talking about this grandma. Even this book, The Salt Eater, is like a matriarch that's going through these things with these people and trying to, find different ways of healing. And I think the position that you're in, especially because it's like y'all, and then the next generation with the kids it's like a really unique position for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it can be stressful and things of that nature too. But just, with the amount of time that we done had to kind of talk over the last few weeks, I feel like you the type of person that could instill some of these healing things for not only yourself but for your sister, and then pass those things on to the kid too, because my grandma, and just to kind of tie in, and I ain't trying to be like, oh, let me say something about somebody I love that passed, but my grandma, that's my heart. Both my grandmas, really, my grandma Gwen and my grandma Townsend, but everybody in the Greens knew my grandma Gwen. That was my, and she ain't gonna be mad at me saying this, that was my nigga. My grandma Gwen was my nigga. She was a gangster. She was a lover. She was a revolutionary. She was smart. She was caring. And she was the type of that I'm kind of like this now because of both of my grandmas, but because of Gwen. Gwen didn't play that. You didn't have one time to mess over her. You had the opportunity to try to mess over her, and she checked you right then and there. And when she passed, I, when I got back from Chicago from the funeral, I found out that I had well, I already kind of knew because I could feel it, but I hadn't went to the doctor yet. And I found out that I had re-injured myself, right? And then it was like, damn, I don't even got this person to talk to, because they had put me like on the list where I could just call and talk to all the time, even late at night. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't tripping like, oh, you can't be calling. So, because she was in a nursing home in them like last years of her life, and so I didn't have that. I even got this video I posted on my Facebook a couple of weeks ago, but I got this video of her calling me on my birthday, and she didn't realize that she was on video. So it's recorded in my phone. So I watch that all the time because she be like, "Hey, baby, happy birthday." It's her voice, it's her face, it's that smile. But it was really, really hard for me. And when my uncle had got killed in the building too. So that was something that I didn't heal from until like just recently during 2020. I cried in 2020 about that. I'm not a person that cry, but trying to heal myself from that feeling of losing her, and like I'm getting emotional right now thinking about that shit. But
Y'all want
just I hear who you are, E, and I love it. I love it.
both of y'all sitting here
Well,
talking
yeah.
about y'all grandmothers. Y'all grandmothers. I've never had a grandmother.
Damn.
Wow.
So my mother's mother passed after my mother. Let's be clear.
What?
However, I've never had a relationship with my grandmother. My grandmother was a very mean, evil woman. My mother just kept us away from her because of what she did to her children. You know what I mean?
A
My
lot of
mother
them
loved.
old ladies was like that.
I knew. I mean, I went to my grandma's house. Do not get me wrong. Like I went over there.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mom, going to Big Mom house to get something to eat. Going to Big Mom house, can you keep the kids? Or no, my daughter has never been to my grandmother's house by herself. Never,
Wow.
never, never. And then on my
So
father's
you
side,
are the matriarch then. You're gonna be that grandma that y'all never
and then
had.
on my father's side, my grandmother abandoned 5 kids. She left 5 kids in Mississippi, went to Chicago, and had 10 more. Right, and so he was
Man, they
raised.
used to have a lot of kids back then.
Right, so he didn't meet his mother till he was 19. You know what I
Wow.
mean? When my father got, because my father was on the streets, but when my father got saved like 30 years ago. He did make his business and have a relationship with his mother, but I had my child already, so there was no relationship building with her and then she passed. So I've never really
Mm-hmm.
had a, you know what I mean? So I can tell y'all that
Yeah.
when I hear, even when I was younger, when I would hear stories about like people going to their grandma's house, stuff like that, I was a little envious because I didn't have a grandma house to go to.
Yeah.
Or like we going to my grandma's house this weekend, or my grandma gonna watch my kids. Yeah, like I didn't have that. Yeah. So
Man, I'm
Well,
like
you know
now that
that kind of
my
hear that.
healing journey looks a lot different from others.
But you doing the work though. So at the end of the day, you setting examples because there's some people out there who got that same or similar. You because ain't nobody got the same, but that's got that similar. That's one of the reasons why I said, man, I see you as like a matriarch and a person who could like hold the family together and be that person, especially because you already own your healing journey. So you can kind of intersect that bullshit from happening to them,
I thank God my mother sent us to counseling when we was 13, 14, 15. My mother sent us to
Mm.
counseling. I've been going to counseling all my life, so I know it had.
Wait, where y'all was going, if you don't mind me asking? Okay. Because I used to I'll start going to counseling around that same time, but it was at St. Matthew's. And I never remember the counselor was Rachel.
The Erie house, but the thing was my mom had private insurance, so we was able to go to the Erie house because they took her insurance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, E? I really hate that you didn't have that because, again,
Me
my
too.
grandma wasn't perfect. She wasn't mean like that, but she wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
But my grandma was everything. When I tell
Yeah.
you, we did everything together. Me and my grandma go to the casino gambling. We play cards. We be going out. Like I even took my grandma to go see that Medea family reunion. And she cut up.
Yeah, I know
She
she
cut
loved
up in
that.
there. She cut up. She almost got us into a fight. And I mean, I love my grandma because she said it when she said how she wanted to say it.
Yeah.
And you better not say nothing to her. She'll check your ass. And I remember my friends still talk about this today. We was all sitting at the table, and I got a friend who a Leo, and he a big ass user. And so my grandma she had bought him. She bought us all some chicken, and she was like, "Yeah, give me my $10, whatever." So he was like, "I ain't got it." So he had already ate the chicken. My grandma told him, "If you don't give me my motherfucking money, I'm gonna cut my fucking chicken out your stomach." And so I love my grandma.
That's how Gwen was. Yeah, Gwen used to carry this thing. She had a little 22. I used to be like, that damn 22 don't work. Oh, it worked. But she had this ice pick that was like in a little wooden sheath. And I never forget, I was working at the Gap on Michigan. and she called my job, tell my grandson he need to get home right now. I'm thinking something happened to her. So I booked to the crib. I didn't even catch the bus. I ran from Michigan to the Greens, to the crib. I get to the crib, they holding 3 niggas in the lobby. Them 3 niggas, if they watch, know who they is, because they try to jump my brother baby. Grandma got the gun in the motherfucking house coat, and she got the ice pick out. Like, when Keith get here, my grandson's finna whoop y'all ass for trying to, you know what I'm saying? Gwen didn't play. Gwen did not play. I'll never forget that.
Zaddy Mae didn't play too. She carried her butcher knife in her purse, and she got all my aunties, her sisters. They carry their guns, and they let you know, don't play with us. I mean, we was living in Cabrini, and she was living with us, and my mama boyfriend was trying to. She hit him with a skillet. I done broke something on his head. Like, we deadly
Playing.
So
Yeah.
I be telling them, like, I don't know why they be playing with us, because we nice, but we not. And so
Yeah.
Granny was always fun. I'm talking about me and E. If you know that tavern, it's on 71st and Halstead. Me and my grandma used to be in there drinking. She get her Crown Royal, and she'll tell you, you know, she say she like her Crown Royal like she like her man, straight with no chaser. I say, come on, Zaddy.
Come on, Grandma.
Hey, you know what's another thing too, Leroy, and I think you might be able to, kind of resonate with this. We grew up in a building full of grandmas. So we didn't just have our grandma in our life. We had Judy, we had Miss Carr, we had Miss Smith, we had Eula, we had Miss John, it was grandmas on every floor in our building. So we had
I know Keith grandma. I used to bring her breakfast. You know when they was doing the free breakfast, I bring her breakfast. She was super sweet.
Super sweet.
I couldn't stand Judy Baldhead ass, and I still
Hey,
like
she
that
didn't play
bitch.
games. She didn't play no games. Listen, she didn't look. It was some grandmas in the building who was like, they was like, you know how you watch them old black movies and it be that lady with the shotgun type of shit? It was some grandmas in the building like that. I ain't gonna say no names, but one grandma was selling squares. She was selling everything. You came on her floor to play dominoes, to buy shots, she was like old school, juke joint down south. She still had that type of mentality. But because of my grandma that lived out west, how I used to sit up under her and listen to stories, and then my grandma Gwen in the building. Both my grandmas lived across the street from each other out west. But when my uncle got killed, my grandma had broke her hip. So she moved back in the building, and then my uncle got killed. So she stayed there, in the building with us. And she worked for CHA her whole life. They all worked for the state, worked for the city, worked for CHA. But I used to be up under all them grandmas, and I used to hear them old stories, and I could tell the type of trauma that they went through, especially with niggas, you know what I'm saying, and white people. But they used to share some of the best stories. Then, they give you some money to go to the store for them, go get them the lottery, go to Hips, go to, what was that store on Division? Why I can't think of the name of the store on Division now? Go to Sammy's. So, yeah, we had a building. People used to call our building the old people building, because that's how many old ladies lived in our building. Of course, it was our mamas and some daddies in the building, but it was mostly grandmas and our mamas. You know what I'm saying? And our mamas was the mamas. Delia, your mama, my mama, Ruby, Pig, Jermaine mama, Connie. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was the mamas that niggas wanted to holler at. I'll say that. It was a lot of niggas coming to our building because they were trying to holler at our mamas and shit.
Especially when they was doing tenant patrol and they was
damn, what's her name in that little cubicle on the first Yeah.
I'm gonna say far as age, to get back to what you were saying. So
we went on a tangent.
We did, but it's cool. That's what we here for, the tangent.
Yeah.
And so I think age-wise, between 18 and 30 is where people kind of figure themselves out, what they want to do with their life, how they want to live it, whatever. When you turn about 30, that light start to come on. It ain't on yet, but it's kind of on. You kind of going into, you trying to head. It should be, but it ain't always on though, E. When you hit 30, when you hit 35, you start kind of saying, damn, if you ain't healed, you starting to want to. But when you turn 40, that light should come on. That's for everybody. Like it was for me when I turned
So
40.
you feel like that's for everybody? That's how it should happen?
I mean, for normal people who really trying to heal. Now, if
Okay.
you ain't shit, you could be ain't shit at 75. That's just what it
Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah.
and that ain't gonna change. If you
And
don't
that's
want
why I
to
was
change,
trying to get with this, because I know some old motherfuckers. I know some old.
He said, "Don't leave them old people out. They still around here fucking up."
I'm
no,
talking
they
about
fucking up. But I'm
they
saying
out here.
honestly, 30 is when you start to realize if you haven't healed, you may need to. 35 is like where you kind of start making a conscious decision to make small changes, subtle changes. Because
Yeah.
at 35, you still thinking you invincible. You outside. I give it to you.
Yeah.
When you hit 40 and everything on your body hurt every day, and
Man.
you tired, and I'm talking about you is tired. You ain't got time for no bullshit. That's when that light come on. And that's when you should start saying, damn, I want to heal. Now,
Yeah.
if you over 40 and you still on bullshit and you ain't trying to heal, that's on you. Because that means you stupid. I'm for real. There ain't no other way to put it. That means you just let life go by. You think you invincible and ain't nothing ain't going to happen to you bad and nothing going to change. And that's absolutely not what's going on. When you hit 40, you head into the second phase of your life. And so you should be trying to heal because you ain't got too much long to try to heal. Once you start hitting 50 and 60, you trying to be in your golden years where you coasting. You should be traveling with your friends. And I hate, like me,
But
I
you
hate
know
to
what,
see a
y'all?
bitch.
I think that you have to like see or be around that. Because I'm only speaking from like
I feel you on that, E.
y'all know y'all know y'all know I'm in a delta. I'm just gonna use that. I ain't even gonna go where I wanted to go with it. Y'all know I'm in this delta, right?
Okay.
And I mean, I'm literally like even today, 60, 70-year-olds. I can't believe we having this conversation. That's just
Man.
all it's like I can't believe I'm having this conversation with you.
When you down in the Delta, they a little slower than certain places. We grew up in the city, so life for
Yeah,
us is different.
but I'm still saying though, like at a certain age, you would think that people will want to heal. Listen, I have an uncle that's on my dad's side. Dad, he was born and raised down here, and when he was 19, he was in that city. He was in the city of Chicago. He was out in my life all my life. He lives down here now because he decided to come back home when he got older, right? But he's down here doing the same shit he was doing in Chicago.
Man, sometimes that's what they want to do too.
Still holding on to childhood trauma. What is my
Yep.
mom been in 20-some years? His daddy been dead 25 years. You
Man.
still holding on to something they didn't do. They didn't teach you what somebody did to you when you was 12 and 11 and what they didn't do and this. And you're 67 years old.
Man, I feel that. And Leroy, I'm saying this because I know Leroy kind of dealing with the same thing, and I'm gonna tie in that trauma too. Because I often think like, how do people, and I know from my own experience, but like, how do people, you know, with invisible, so to speak, disabilities, you know, navigate these worlds and still be like regular good people? So, you know, air quotes, good people. And
We can't hear you.
You cut out. You cut out.
His mic.
His mic. There you go. There you go.
I'm running the backup mic this time. I wasn't gonna get caught slipping.
Yeah.
But I be wondering, how do people, you know, navigate these invisible, you know, disabilities? I like to say that I'm alter-abled. I don't like saying that I'm disabled, even though I, you know, on paper I am. I got the blue placard and, you know, wheelchairs and scooters and all that shit. But I be wondering, how do people who dealing with that physical pain that will, because sometimes I do be wanting to snap on people like, nigga, my body hurt, like you standing all close to me, you breathing on me, you talking too loud, or sometimes I feel like, and my doctor even said this in a recent doctor appointment, like you might have PTSD because my nerves bad from all this nerve entrapment and nerve damage and shit. People get to talking loud or doing too much shit, and I start getting irritated. Like, God damn, sit your ass down, But
That's
nothing
but
happened to
that's
me. My nerves and nerves good, and that shit bugs me too.
yeah. So I was gonna
hey,
say
I
that
think
like
that's from my mama because she been like that my whole life. I ain't gonna lie.
no, I think
I just
it's
get easily irritated.
Mm-hmm.
no, and you know what? It's not that you get irritated. It's discernment. That's what it is.
Yeah,
It's that
Yeah,
word,
yeah,
discernment.
yeah,
People
yeah.
take it as like you being mean. It's not that. I like it quiet. I hate a bunch
Me
of
too.
kids, hollering ass kids. I don't like no bunch of noise. That shit bother me. Like
And
it
y'all
bother me.
remember that one cartoon? They was like, quiet, quiet. Oh, I hate
Uh,
noise.
I,
I'm
that
definitely that dude.
motherfucking
Yes,
foghorn, whatever his
yes,
name
Foghorn.
is.
Yeah, I'm definitely Foghorn for real.
And that's all us. I think the older you get, the more you want some quietness. You want some peace. You don't
Yeah,
want
I
all
just don't
that
be having time for none of it. Like
that noise
I
and
don't even want
shit.
to
But
have. I don't even want to have a stupid conversation.
Yeah.
to answer your question, he doing that because he don't want like that trauma. It's like it's a blanket for him. If he doesn't have that trauma, what else would he be? Like you gotta understand, some people that's all they got. That's their security blanket.
That is
If
that
they,
security blanket. That's a good one, Leroy.
if you took away his trauma, what else he got?
What he gonna be? Yeah.
What he gonna complain
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. But
Some
also,
people,
what's his personality gonna be? Who he gonna present himself to the world as now? Everybody know him for that old me. He probably love that shit. That's it. Them his social media hearts and shit.
hmm so I'm feeling like he don't want to change. Most people at 40, they be looking at themselves, especially if you ain't married and you ain't in no like committed relationship. You start to work on yourself because. And I tell people this all the time. A lot of people ain't healing because they just don't want to. They want somebody to put up with them the way they are. But most people not gonna do that. A healed person and a person that's at peace and you in your own space, you not finna put up with that shit. You not gonna put up with no motherfucking line kind of pop in the crib at 3, 4 in the morning. Cause I'm telling you now, if we ain't out together or you out, you need to be in this motherfucker at 2 a.m. because if you do not be here at 2 a.m., you better stay where you at. You come knocking on this door trying to get in, the double lock on, you ain't getting in, and you try to break in, I'm calling the police on your ass. And I don't care if we is together and you stay there. That's just on you. You should stop playing with me because I ain't allowed to do that. You want me to be respectful, you should be just as respectful. And I feel like I don't know why this is so hard for people, but treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want nobody,
that is the saying of my life. Listen, I've been teaching my daughter that since she was younger. I promise you, you treat people how you want to be treated. And if they don't treat you how you want to be treated, you leave their asses where they at because they don't fucking respect you and they're not respecting your boundaries.
and they never gonna respect you.
Yeah, and they gon' think that you like that shit. That's why I'm doing it to you. Cause it's a lot of narcissists in the world, but you'll really train somebody to think that's what you enjoy. So they do it to you even more.
And that's why I tell people like with me.
In my fucking face.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say it just like this. And we just had this conversation, and I tell people like every relationship and marriage is different. I don't get to tell you how to do yours, but I'm telling you what I ain't finna do.
Yeah.
If we couldn't commit a relationship, I'm not having no threesome with you because one, if I allow you to cheat in my face, how am I gonna get mad at you when you doing it behind my back?
Man, come on.
It ain't about if I'm not enough, I'm good on you. Cause I feel like by the time we hit 35, 40, you should have got that shit out.
You should have did it. Yeah, you should have did it.
Been on your bald head whole shit or stupid nigga shit young.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age, you should be trying to settle down and all that trying to do a threesome, and then I tell people, and they be like, "Well, no, you creating problems for your relationship, and you don't even know it." Because again, if I'm saying let's have a threesome together, we study popping off with other motherfuckers. Then when you go and do it behind my back, how am I gonna get mad?
Yep, you
I'm
can't be
letting you
mad.
shit in my face.
Yep,
I'm
you can't
basically
even be
letting you
mad.
do the shit in my face, and I feel like, don't get me wrong, sex is a big component in your relationship because that's your, being intimate is like the ultimate
Yeah, that shit
goal. You know
important.
what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
important, but it shouldn't be the only thing you got going on. If all y'all got in common is sex, that shit's stupid. Cause it's gonna get old. You gonna get tired of looking at their ass every day. They gonna get tired of looking at you every day. Y'all gonna get tired.
Everything
And
that they stand for, you are not going to like.
And
That's
think
what I'm
about
saying.
this too. At some point, your intimacy should have evolved into more than just sex. Like it don't. I ain't don't. I'm not shunning sex, nigga. I love sex. I'm saying that I understand
Yeah,
different levels of intimacy with my wife, and I know, and I. It's sometimes I ain't gonna put all my business out there, but I'm the type of nigga that like to have sex. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also the type of nigga that like to be intimate with my wife in other ways, even if it's just conversation, her laying on my head, us riding in the car together. We read to each other, we do diaphragmatic breathing, and we rub on each other, massage. Sometimes it's no touching at all. Just sitting quiet. We turn on our little. She like these lo-fi beats. We turn on the lo-fi beats. You know what I'm saying? Good in the shower. Turn the light off. Like intimacy ain't just sex, and I do feel like it's a lot of trauma involved in relationships. You know what I'm saying? That is promoted as if it's something good. That's a whole nother show that we could have. How we trauma bond through intimate relationships now with the he a brokey, and then niggas she a bird, or whatever niggas that ain't in New York call females, you know what I'm saying? But we have this society now that it damn near teaching. I won't say us because we kind of grew up offline. You know what I'm saying? So we still understand how to navigate the world, and we ain't like awkward and weird where we, don't know how to talk to nobody. I was just watching what's that nigga name? Gary Owens, and he said the first DMs used to be when you was at the club. He said it was a dick message when you was at the club and a girl dancing and you get behind her, you get the dancing on her, she look back. If you're an ugly nigga, she like, then you had to move on to the next one, you know what I'm saying? And I really felt that. I'm like, that's true. One, because I was in the club, so I know. I do feel like I'm a fine ass nigga, so all my DMs was getting answered, but at the same time, I understand that was real. But I do see a lot of that trauma in us as male and female, or just it don't even have to be male and female, because there's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately too. How heterosexual men be having these traumas, like you were saying earlier, about not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to talk about their feelings and all of this stuff, and it almost turned into like a homosocial or homoerotic relationship with their boys. Like they want to be with their boys all day long. You like sitting up under a bunch of sweaty nut niggas, you know what I'm saying, at all hours of the day. You ain't checking in on your girl, or you don't got no girl. You sleeping with a whole bunch of girls to prove your masculinity to dudes and shit. In some way or fashion, it's one, a form of trauma, and it's gonna lead into something else that I was gonna ask too about the environment. Like, how do y'all think the environment really not even just traumatize us, but like, because the environment physically hurt us too, but how the environment affect us in that way where we start taking on traumas that don't even belong to us. Like I hear people say, I'm gonna skip back past what I was saying earlier, because I hear people say this all the time. They enslaved us, and our people, for not all of our people, but our people was in slavery, right? But nigga, you wasn't enslaved. You wasn't a cattle stick. You wasn't getting beat by the whip. So why you taking on that trauma? Why you ain't using the fact that our people who was enslaved was able to fight through that shit to take on their strength instead and be like, nigga, I ain't gonna let nobody do me like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck is you wanting to be the slave instead of being the nigga who, like, I wish you would try
But to
that shit
me,
with me?
that just go back to what I was saying earlier. It's an excuse. Like most
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So to answer your question about the enslavement mentality, people take that on because it's just easier. See, that's what I mean by the environment. I'm gonna say this to y'all, both of y'all. Far as the environment, it's how you handle your situations when you put in those situations. It's just like life is like a bully. You know how if you ever had a bully, they always fucking with you, saying the craziest shit to you and stuff like that. And if every time you see this life is a bully, well, let's say life is this bully. Every time you see this bully, you run the other way, or you trying to get high, or you trying to get drunk, or you trying to forget that it ever happened. You never actually taking on the issue, which goes back to the healing conversation.
Yeah.
What I tell people all the time is that what defines you as a human and defines your character is how you handle these situations.
Yeah.
If somebody is bullying you, life beating you down, then you have to ask yourself, why is life constantly beating you down? What can you do to change it?
Wait, E,
How-
say it, E. Law of attraction. That's exactly what I heard E saying. Law of attraction. Nigga, you inviting that shit to your doorstep.
And the problem is that words have power. So if
It
you
does.
constantly saying, "Man, life hard," it's stay everything, then that's gonna be your life.
Because now you praying. Think about this. Like you said, words have power. When you keep saying that, you praying. That's your prayer. You praying for that. Life's so hard. God, like, okay, bing, bing, bing. Smack your ass again. I'm going to smack your ass every time. Yes, yes, yes. That's so real. So let me say this too. And take this part out when you're doing the editing. That was a real good viral clip right there. What you just said about the bully. Because I ain't never heard nobody really explain. I mean, I've heard people talk about how life do, but I ain't never heard nobody really compare it to a bully the way that you just did. Because that's some real shit. That's real. That's real.
It's how you handle those situations. If every time something get hard, you run or you want to. And I told this to my friend, like she dating this, she a stud. And every time she always take the easy way out. It be the retardedest hoes. They don't want to work. They stink. They ugly. Don't want to dress them up or whatever. And I'm like, if this ain't the woman you want, why do you keep taking the easy way out? Yeah, it's fun. You get a little pussy right now, but then that's gonna bore you after a while. Then what? And so I'm like, if you go for what you want the first time, you happier. You get, because you, even if you get turned down, if you get turned down, again, life lesson, it motivates you to work harder. Well, because I like it. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it easy. I want you to make me work for it. Make me put in a little effort or whatever, because if it's too easy, I don't want it.
Listen, if it's easy, I definitely don't want. My homegirl was over here yesterday. She a therapist, right? We love her. And her husband is like one of my best friends out here. And she was saying something about, and my wife is kind of similar. She was saying something about being a strong woman, like a more masculine woman, not in looks, but in how she carry herself, right? And we having a real good conversation, and I trust her too. So I'm like, I like pretty women now. So let me specify what I'm saying first. I like pretty women. I like women that look good. But I want a strong ass alpha one. I the type of nigga that I am, I got a super slick mouth. I look good. I know how to navigate the world. I done been a lot of places. I ain't gonna say I know a lot of shit, but the shit I know it real, real well. And if I'm with somebody that's like, not saying that my wife can't live in her soft woman era, because I'm gonna take care of my family. She'll tell you that. I ain't worked a traditional job or I'm gonna just be real. I ain't had no job since I got injured. You know what I'm saying? Since 2020, when they was like, Keith, you can't work here no more. Even though I'm still, technically work for them, but I take care of my family. We ain't lost our house, you know what I'm saying? We don't miss no meals or lose no sleep around here. You know what I'm saying? I take real good care of my family. But I can't have no woman that's just too prissy and gonna let me walk all over you, because they might not be intentional. But the type of person that I am, I'm gonna say what's on my mind out through the gate. You ain't. We gonna bump heads a lot of times because you gonna take what I said as disrespect when I'm just really speaking my mind. Like I said in another show that we did, I'm a kind person, not a nice person, because nice people are fools. So I'm a tell it to you like it is, and then if we need to, come to some understanding or you need some clarification, need me to use different words to explain it better, I will. But a little dainty, nah, you gonna hate me. You gonna want your brothers to beat me up because you gonna be telling them this nigga be talking to me crazy. No, I don't, girl. You just don't understand what I'm saying, or you just ain't quick enough for me.
And
And
so, but I feel like, so two things about that, right? One, I can't hang with no, or I don't want, like if I'm a date, you cannot be no weak ass bitch. If we out and I get to shooting, I want you to shoot right alongside of me.
For real. For real.
And that's what I tell people. I can't date a bitch like Nicki Minaj. I need me a Remy Ma. Because I'm from the streets. I want a street bitch. Like, I want me a hard bitch. Yep. I want her to be like, nigga, what you say? Like, that's why I like Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige from the hood. And that bitch say, nigga, get your hands off me. Like, I can't do no weak ass bitch. So I never date no white woman. I never date.
Look, let me say, I'm not weak shaming, right? I'm not weak shaming. And I'm saying that for Leroy too. We not weak shaming.
He is weak shaming. If you a weak ass bitch, go miss it, bitch. That's a motherfucking lie.
Weak people need to be with weak, or no, I ain't even gonna call them weak, but people who operate like that either need to be with people who operate like that too, or they need to be with people who can, kind of carry them with them soft hands, because otherwise, then it's gonna feel like abuse. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to ever accuse me of being an abuser, because I'm not.
Weak people are attracted to manipulators.
That's why I said it's gonna feel like abuse. Yeah.
They gonna stay weak forever.
Wait, look, on my daddy's side, my people from Mississippi too, right? Yazoo, my people from Yazoo, Mississippi. And I used to be talking to this girl. This was a long time ago, of course, way before my wife. But I used to be talking to this girl, and she used to always be like, you remind me of a Mississippi pimp. The way you talk, the way you remind me of a Mississippi pimp. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I saying to you that make you feel, you know what I mean? Like, what am I saying to you that make you feel like that? But it was because she had been so used to being with niggas that was manipulators and using her for money and all of this stuff that she thought I was trying to set her up, for the underlay for the overplay. Like or the overlay for the underplay. She thinking that I was using all of that because eventually I'm finna try to take all her money no, girl, I don't even want nothing. I really don't want nothing from you. I like you. You look good. We be having good conversations. And this the type of nigga that I am.
But again, people not used to, plus I think because we from Chicago, we are naturally aggressive. Everything we do aggressive. And I'm like that just period. Like people be surprised. Cause don't get me wrong, I am like, nice and some days I'm real mild tempered, but I turn up on your ass in a heartbeat. Like and I can't deal with no like I'm so like aggressive with it. Like I can't be around no bitch like she like, well, I got an attitude because I'm on my period. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about you and your period. I know it happened, but you better pipe down and get the shit smacked out your ass. Like, that's just me as a person, and there's no digs to you. Like, and I tell women that all the time. This is why I don't really talk to women, and I talk to a lot of men, because I know y'all can't handle what I'm saying. I'm not finna give it to you like, oh, girl, baby girl, bitch, your pussy stank. That's what we doing. Bitch, do better.
With that statement, I just never understood how a person could get to the point where a motherfucker gotta tell you that your pussy stink. I just don't understand that.
So I'm waiting to hear Leroy answer on that one, because I just ain't never had to tell no chick that, because I ain't messing with nobody like that.
But they know you ain't. They thinking that you ain't gonna say nothing. And see, here's my thing. It's like a few things that bother me. And like, I hate a musty fucker that's grown. Like,
me too.
Nobody should have to tell you to get in the tub. You grown. And so I'm feeling like that bothers me. I hate a musty pussy smell. If you got that musty pussy smell, I'm finna check you immediately. I don't care what you got going on. That shit bothers me. It burns my nose because my eyesight ain't as good, so my other senses are heightened.
Heightened, yeah.
Meaning that I can smell like a bloodhound, bitch. And so I remember I was working at Walmart, and this bitch was trying to holler at me, and she smelled like salmon, which that mean the bitch got trichomomo. And so
Man.
she come up in there, and she like, yeah, baby girl, go in there and get that, what is it, Meconazole, and get that shit together, because that ain't gonna work.
Discount, you work here. I know.
I'm like, look, bitch, you need to get that shit in order. Like, that shit smells foul, and it smells like it's been sitting out in the sun. No.
Man.
So, and it ain't just women. I done told niggas they stink too, because niggas do. They stink.
Listen.
I smell men all day.
All the time. That's why I didn't understand what I was saying earlier, how niggas. So we had a studio when I first moved out here. I had a studio for I had a studio up until I met my wife, right? And then I like kind of stopped doing shows and recording music and stuff because I'm with my wife. I done had a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got time. I can't be out. I didn't want to be up under niggas all day anyway. I got all brothers. I got one sister. All brothers. It's 7 of us. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be up under no niggas all day anyway because I grew up under niggas all day. But we'll be in the studio and I got that same kind of nose. You know what I'm saying? I smell my food. I smell everything. I ain't gonna lie. I smell everything. So I just used to be like, damn, we come in here now. I understand what my mama used to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like we stank and shit. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm like, and plus I'm like a dude that wants to look good. I ain't trying to look too, better than the whole world, but I want to look and feel good all the time. And I think smelling good is like the number one thing to looking good. Cause I go out the house, not dressed to impress, but and when I walk past, you're gonna be like, damn, that nigga smell good. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be on point every time. Shit. Every time. And anyway, I'm gonna smell good.
That's the goal. Now I will say too.
Is you okay over that way? Are you okay?
I am okay.
Okay. I am a little softy too. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if y'all saw, but I ate some gummies.
Oh man, I wish you would have told me.
Shit, you know what, E? I want to get me some so bad, but you know what? My check hit on Monday, and so I'm gonna get them Monday. I ain't finna do it, but
hey, get some Atlanta, Leroy. Get some. Get some.
Okay.
Text me your address.
Good stuff.
Okay, I'll send it to you. My address super fucking easy too.
Wait, you like grape? Wait, what kind?
Grape. Grape. You got apple? Some kind of apple?
I saw a green one. I sure said apple in my head. I saw the green one.
And then you know what? I was gonna tell you too. My family live in Mississippi too, but the closest motherfucker that stay by you live in Horn Lake. How far are you from Horn Lake?
Where you at, Ian Jackson?
I'm in Greenville. I'm down
close enough. Yeah.
Greenwood.
Yeah.
Look, this is my purse. Look, I got them in my purse too. I just be popping them.
I love edibles. Look, I'm hitting my shit right now, so I feel you. Like I got to.
And then normally I'm the one that's high. I'm the only one on the damn shit sober.
Wait, no, I said that too. I said this nigga got his drink.
When I go home, I go to Michigan.
Oh yeah, they got good shit in Michigan.
You ain't got to do all that. Where you say you live? You stay
in Mississippi.
It's illegal.
Well,
I mean, illegal
edibles and
shit. It's only medicinal. I'm supposed to be going to get my card next Thursday.
It's a smoke shop in Memphis. I'll hook you up with that. They everywhere. We buy our gummies when I was in Memphis.
Really?
How far is you from Memphis?
2 hours and like 20 minutes.
Yeah, they sell them in
A
Memphis.
2-hour drive to get some good shit ain't a bad drive. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what?
Not at all.
They're not even legal. They're not even legal. Let me tell you.
No, it's medicinal. When I first moved down here, I was driving 2 hours and 43 minutes to go to a goddamn job every day.
I feel you. I feel you. No, listen, I feel you. That's the one thing. Look, to bring it back into the healing, one thing that I really, really feel the trade-off trade-off of not having to clock in or work for somebody else is that it allowed me the time to heal, because I got injured on the job, was still at the job, got re-injured on the job, went back to the job, I got injured 3 times on the job from the same injury. And I feel like a little bit of it was from the surgery too, because they pulled my shit so tight that it started ripping the other side of me. I got 7 hernias. And when I tell you, I wear some shit up under my clothes that I probably be a little musty sometime. I ain't gonna lie. I know I be sweaty as hell when I take that shit off. But I had to wear shit up under my clothes that hold everything together. It's like I after my first surgery, I used to always say I understand how women feel, having to have a C-section now. Although I ain't never been pregnant, so I ain't trying to take that away from women, but I understand the pain of healing because I got 2 rips on the side of my groins. You know what I'm saying? And that's just doing this hurt. Just me sitting right here, I'm sitting on top of hella pillows. I got pillows behind me. I got my H-Wave machine right here. I was going to hook that up while we doing this so I could be getting my little shock therapy. But then I put it on and I was like, nah, I need to lay down while I'm doing this. So I'll just wait till we get off and run it through the night. But I be having to do so much stuff to navigate this pain or to mitigate the pain, because they just want to give you opioids and they want to give you a drug test. That's it. And if you don't pass the drug test, then they saying, oh, you must not be in pain because you ain't taking the drugs. And I'm like, nah, y'all trying to have me a dope fiend. I seen what happened to them white people in them little small towns and shit. I'm cool. I don't want to take them opioids. And I was taking them. Don't get me wrong. I was taking them. Like, I was taking them. Then
you'll become dependent on them, though.
But look, E. So they had me on some, I ain't gonna name what it was, because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, this nigga was a dope fiend. They had me on some strong ass shit to start with, right? And I start to realize, like, not even the dependency, because I ain't the type of person that got like addictive personality, but I start to realize that I didn't feel like I was in control of my own thoughts and like the stuff that I was doing, right? And I already am like still trying to train my balance back and get my feet, my gait and my walk and shit. So I tell the doctor, now mind you, this after like a year. So I tell her, I don't want to take these no more. Y'all got to give me something that's, something that ain't going to have me feeling high, because I don't want to feel high. I want pain relief, not a high. So she's like, okay, we're going to prescribe you something else. I get the something else. That shit don't do nothing. So I ain't going to lie, I'm taking more than one. I'm probably taking 3 at a time. I'm like, this shit ain't helping me. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting these, they call nerve block injections. So they was giving me the nerve block injections, and that was really helping with the nerve pain, especially in like my abs and shit. So they stripped me of that and then gave me this shit that don't work. And so I'm like, oh, y'all want me? She even said to me, I was like, I didn't tell her that I was taking more, you know what I mean? But she was like, don't worry, you'll get used to them and then want to take them. Bitch, that sound like a dope fiend. That sound like you want me to be an addict. So I stopped taking them last year. Yeah, I quit taking them. And then I told them, because, they sending me the drug test. So then they're like, well, you ain't taking the drugs. You must not be in pain. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be in pain than be dependent on these drugs. Because then if y'all cut the prescription and I can't get them no more, then what I'm going to want? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to have me out here looking for black tar, trying to meet the Venezuelans to get the good shit that Trump don't want in the country unless white people making it. I'm cool on that. They
was trying to do me like that in Milwaukee. They was trying to give me Lyrica, and I wouldn't take it. Like, I learned to deal with the pain because it's not always bad. And then it's ways that you have to do stuff so that you're not in pain.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to constantly be popping pills and shit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so what I've learned, especially with like health wise, your body was never meant
not for that shit.
Taking medication. The body is a natural healer.
Yeah.
And so when you introduce chemicals because I work in pharmacy, so I'm telling you because I know. Like when you introduce chemicals into your body, you throw your balance off, your chemical balance off. And so all them pills, eventually, like, that's what happened to people who take those opioids. Like, they get to take them, and the shit ain't even working, because the opioids don't help with the pain. It just think it's helping.
Yeah, it help with the signal for the pain.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the problem is you taking that shit and you just getting worse. It's not helping you heal. You
Leroy,
gotta
that's,
do the part.
listen, I told her, I said, when they had me on that super strong shit that had me like a little, not little, I was, nigga, I could move my head like this shit was looking like I was dizzy, right? It had me loopy as hell. I said, y'all gave me this shit. Now y'all, it's making me think I could do shit that I know I shouldn't have been doing. So I'm out and about, trotting and walking, and you know what I'm saying? Pills start wearing off after 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, oh, why the fuck everything hurting like that? You know, I was tripping in my own head too, because I'm like, do I have more hernias? Do I have more tears? Is it something else ripped? And then kind of find out it was, because I still got a couple of hernias that ain't been repaired. They can't repair them because of, you know, where they located. And
So
then,
your surgeon caused all these injuries?
so listen, E, I will say yes, because the first surgery I had 3 hernias, right? They put a mesh in. I had an inguinal hernia, so a hernia in my, basically where my nuts at, and then a hernia in my stomach. They put the mesh in, and it caused the lateral, I think that's a ventral hernia on my left side, a hernia, another hernia in my abdomen, and then a hernia, another inguinal hernia on the left side. They
Did you
fixed.
get on that mesh lawsuit?
Yeah, so look, this the thing. They want, in order for you to do the mesh lawsuit, and whoever watching this, if y'all know some different information, please put it in the comments, because I would love to hear it. So in order to get on that, you have to see one of their doctors, right? And they have to assess you, and they want to remove the mesh and then put the approved mesh in. I've been going through this for 10 years now. 2016, February the 19th, make 10 years to the date of my surgery. I got injured in 2015 in October. So if you don't go to their doctor, then you can't get on the lawsuit. But also, if you have an active case, like right now, I'm still on workers' comp, even though it's been 6 years, because technically the location of my hernias, and then and I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna say pretty sure, but you might know what it is. I got diastasis recti too. So my abs is like this now. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't touch no more. They like that. So I'm still going through the workers' comp for treatment. Some of that treatment is like me getting the wheelchair so I could be mobile again, me getting the scooter so I could be mobile again. I do now at the house with the H-wave machine, but I do the acupuncture with the electric rods on it. They're trying to give me some swimming stuff, and so I do have a lot of treatments, right? But those treatments is really for people with spine and back injuries, which it's been messing my back up for some years now. I be like this all the time, and that's why I got all these pillows and all this stuff on, like holding my body together so I could keep my posture and just not be bent over all the time. But I have talked to a lawyer about it. I talked to several lawyers because one of my cousins, Fred, he actually went through the same thing and he had his removed. I went to see a specialist. This was in Stanford. And he told me straight out. First off, he said that it's too dangerous because where the mesh is on both sides by my groin, there's an area that's like a triangle of nerves, and my mesh overlap both of those areas. So if they remove it, it's a high possibility, it's a high probability that I'm gonna die during the surgery. And they want you to sign a waiver and say you consent to them doing it. He wouldn't do it. He like, no, because it's even to the point where I was like, well, if I don't die, what's the chances of me, one, not having the pain, and then two, like my muscle like meshing back together, with the regular, just them sewing it, and then I just had a scar tissue. And he said it straight out. The scar tissue is what's fucking you up right now. Cause I got clips in my right side. I got clips down by my nuts and shit. And the scar tissue and the clips got my nerves entrapped. So even if they take the mesh off, which they wouldn't, because it's been there so long that it's infused with the blood vessels and everything. Even if they took that stuff off, I probably would be in worse pain. He was like, it's a 25% chance that you're gonna have any relief. It's more of a chance that you're gonna have worse pain. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I was saying that about dealing with invisible disabilities, right? Because people see me and I know I done said this a couple of times, I'm a fine ass nigga. So people see me and they like, especially I dress good. I got walking sticks that match all of my fits and my shoe. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to look cool with the walking sticks and not like outwardly express how I really feel inside, right? And not to hide it or to cover it up, but just for my own mental sanity. Cause I had lost like 80 pounds. I was like, no, I had lost 60 pounds. I was like 109. I got down to 110 pounds at 11 pounds at one point, like in 2020, 2021. Then I was like 119 pounds up until like 2 years ago. Around 2023, I started gaining weight, you know, like getting my weight back and stuff. So I'm now at I'm overweight, to be totally honest. Like it's too big because my stomach pressing up on the mesh and on the nerves and all of that stuff, and the hernia that's up here. You could see that it never go in. It's like you could see that much. It's like how when you get a frog, it never go in. So any little thing that rub up against it or anything, that shit hurt. So you know, I'm like in a position where I'm always in pain, chronic pain all day long. It's never a day where I ain't been in pain. And it's never a day where it's like, you know, how they be like 1 to 10. Those charts don't work for me because I be 11 and 12. I just don't. The reason I don't be going to the, like, I told you I went to the emergency room last night, but that's because I got bit by something. But the reason I don't go to the emergency room like I used to is because they want to give me morphine or some type of other drugs, right? Or when I come in, they like, oh, he a dope fiend. He coming in because he want the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, bitch, I want the drugs. That's why the fuck I came in here. I'm in so much pain that I can't move. Man, the fire department, the ambulance done been to our house so many times. They know me. Like we told the one dude, because the one dude checked everybody. He was like, "Don't do him like that." Like we've serviced this dude before. We know that this, like, you know, he not faking in his pain. I was butt naked in my bathroom, couldn't get up for 6 hours with the water running. My wife finally was like, "Fuck that. I'm finna call them," and then they took me. And then when I'm in the back, they treat me like, oh, you just a dope fiend because when we give you this, you feel better. Yeah, bitch, because the pain stopped for a little while and I could sleep for an hour.
It ain't really that you a dope fiend. It's because you black.
Oh, I know that. Listen, I know that. So he not my doctor no more, right? This nigga had brung somebody in that was shadowing him. And he said, he talking all this good shit. He training this intern. He talking all this good shit. My wife bust that nigga right out. Well, he stepped out the room. She was still in the room. I said, while he talking all this good shit to you, and I had my nurse case manager right there and my wife. They got rid of my nurse case manager because of how good she was. They won't even let me get a nurse case manager after her because she was so good. She started emailing all them niggas in the same thread. Oh, y'all gonna get this shit done. They said, oh, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You supposed to email everybody individually. They ain't supposed to all see what the communication. But what happened was he leaves out the room. He like, oh, I got to go get some shit to do the test, right? When he left out, I told her, I said, this nigga don't even know where my injury at. I said, when he come back in, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to ask him to show you on my body where I'm hurt. She looking at me like I'm a nigga. Oh, he don't. Why would I believe that? He's the doctor.
And then why I said that, because it's a thing of trauma and healing while being black. Like, I feel like that's the problem, and I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to ask the question. I'm sorry, Keith. I know I'm.
Go ahead. We on here together. Shit, I'm having a good time.
Is that, first of all, shout out to black women. Black women are the most unprotected. They are the most.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife, Rochelle.
Shout out to all black women. Your mother, your grandmother, your.
I had to shout my wife out especially too.
Definitely, but you know, I get it though. Shout out to the wife.
That's right. That's right.
Black women are the most unprotected people on this planet, but they actually the strongest. Black women got to raise children by themselves. They got to deal with trauma and they can't complain about it. They got to go to work and deal with it there. I mean,
let's go back to the raising thing. Sometimes they raise grown ass men, they husband, they boyfriend, they significant other too.
Yeah, we not doing that though. But
it's the truth. Yeah,
doing that.
We not doing.
It is the truth though. It is the truth.
It's the truth, but
it's truth in that.
But what I'm saying is
that wasn't healing. I wasn't fucking raising no grown ass.
I feel you on that. I feel you. Yeah.
I just feel like shout out to black women because they go through so much, they deal with so much, and they never get. I mean, they never let up when it's a black woman. While they driving, they fucking with them. While they in the restaurant, they fucking with
At
them.
work, everywhere.
At work, everywhere. And then what really pissed me off, and I've been arguing with a lot of motherfuckers online, is that every time a black woman say something, intelligent or important, they like, well, what about you on food stamps and welfare? And I say most African American women not even on welfare
At all, because they some of the best hustlers on the planet.
They are.
Healthcare than it is black people.
And so what I was trying to say, my question is that how do you heal? Because you can't change that you black. So how do you heal from the world automatically thinking the worst of you? Which is why I brought that up, Keith.
I was gonna ask the same question. Go ahead.
But that's why I brought that up about when you was in the doctor's office and you was in pain. It's like they always think the worst of you.
Yeah,
And
listen.
so,
They still do it right now, and I hate to say this, but I got to because it's the truth. They gave me a black doctor, right? They gave me a black woman, and she built up her trust with me over the last like 6 months. I've been seeing her for like 6. I've seen her like 6 times, 8 times or something. So they gave me a black woman. She young, she cute. She, her and my wife got a good rapport. They black women, you know what I'm saying? And she do be honest with me, right? But when I said that thing about the PTSD, at my last appointment, I told her, like, man, my nerves is hella jumpy now. I've never been that type of person. I ain't never been no frightful person or no jumpy person like that. You know what I'm saying? I might be small, but I'm a little pit bull. I won't even say I'm a little pit bull. I'm just really confident in my situational awareness, and I'm not a scary person. But now my nerves be all over the place. And she said, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because, they put that down in their report. And then that's going to have them looking at something else about me. Then they're going to try to make it a psychological thing, right? Oh, he might not actually be in pain. It might be a psychological thing. So she said, that sounds like you got CPTSD. Bitch, what? Then she gonna ask me, did your therapist, because I do see a therapist, right? I see a CBT, a mental health, I see a mental health therapist. I just had a 6-hour evaluation with a mental health therapist, and they did all these write-ups and all of this other bullshit. And she said that to me and then wrote it in the report. And that made me not trust her no more. Because, bitch, why would you say I got CPTSD without verifying, confirming that first?
Because the problem that I have with people is that, and we've been arguing with everybody about this, is that they always try to put you in this box. They want you to, fit into some kind of mold because they don't understand. It's like, well, Keith is in pain, but why won't he take these meds? It'll help him.
Because I be a dope fiend.
No, you absolutely right for feeling the way you feel because they tried to drug me up too. Like they've been trying to drug me up since I've been like this. But the problem is,
think about this, Leroy, and 1,000 pardons for cutting you off. If they had me on them pills the way that they had me before, because they had me taking them 3 times a day, 125 milligrams of it's a strong. I got a big ass bag full of all it's some of them pills I never took, right? And I know in their mind they like, well, what was you doing with the pills? Was you selling them? I got a backpack that I put all of those pill bottles in, right? I told my uncle about this morning. I'm getting hella emotional even talking about it now. When the workers' comp part of it is over, because I'm gonna be dealing and going through treatment and healing myself. That's why I got all these fucking books over here. These just some of the books. I got a whole big ass bookshelf in the living room of all these books that I done read about healing myself and all this stuff. Like I'm saying, diaphragmatic breathing and all these different modalities that I'm trying to do to see what worked best for me, right? But when this all over, I've been writing out. I love to write, let me say that. But I've been writing something. I'm gonna do a video about this, right? That I'm gonna make, and I got some chessboards. I'm going to put all them pills on the chessboards, and that's how I'm going to do the video. I'm going to be using those pill bottles as chess pieces to talk about how they gave me the pawns first, and all of these different things that they put me through with these medications. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood what they was trying to do. They wanted me to be in there, the loopy ass Keith that they had in the beginning, who was high off them goddamn pain meds and couldn't advocate for myself. That's why me being the person that I am, I was like, I need an advocate. My wife advocated for me, right? But she not a doctor. So I need somebody who is educated in this medical field that they gonna respect. So I got me a white woman. Liz, shout out to Liz. I love that lady. You know what I'm saying? She came in, checked their ass through the gate like y'all playing games. One, it's been whatever this many weeks. He shouldn't still be going through this. She was the person who got them to start doing all the real treatment that they had suggested in 2019 already. They didn't follow none of the treatment suggestions that the qualified medical examiner that they hired to evaluate me told them to do. Bruh, I had a motherfucking infection for 3 years in my gut from the surgery. That's why I was 119 pounds. I was fucking dying. And they wouldn't do the goddamn the test to see. So I went to my own doctor, thankfully, because my doctor kept telling me I can't do nothing that got to do with your injury, right? So I went to him. I said, man, I showed him the paperwork, told him what the doctor suggested that, said I might have. All he did was touch my stomach. Mind you, I was this motherfucking big at the time, so it wasn't much stomach to touch. My stomach, ribs, and back was all the same spot. He touched my stomach. He said, yeah, I think you got H. pylori. H. pylori is the #1 cause of motherfucking stomach cancer in the United States. Look this shit up. 80% of the people who have H. pylori go undetected with H. pylori and die. I lived longer than most of those people would have lived just because I'm a naturally healthy person. I take care of myself. My wife take care of me. We take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers wouldn't even do the test. My doctor ran the test and then he gave me the pills. I was on motherfucking antibiotics for damn near, I don't want to lie and say 6 months, but it was more than 3 months for sure. Because it started in November and then November, December, January. Yeah, I was on it for 4 months because I was on the what's the names from November to February, and then they had me doing other treatments and stuff to make sure that it was fully out my body. And he tested me several times after that because he was like, the only way to really find it is to do these poop tests because it could still be living in you. You know what I'm saying? Then you think you healed, but it's building itself back up to attack attack you again and have you sick. He was like, this how you get holes in your stomach, all of these different things. But one of the main things it causes is stomach cancer. It's like one of the leading things that cause stomach cancer. You mean to tell me that they had me so loopy and so fucked up in the head that I was in there not able to advocate for myself? Yeah, I'm not taking them drugs no more, bitch. I'd rather be in pain than being here feeling stupid because I can't even talk to you. I'm sitting in that motherfucker like this.
But they want you like that because, one, you easy to manipulate, and it's about...
And I can't remember shit, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't get my words straight. Man, hell no. They had me fucked up.
It's never about your health. It's about money. They want that money.
Because CVS owns Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which are insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a pharmacy company that owns an insurance company.
Think about that.
And think about the insurances. So if I got Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna, I go to these certain doctors. When you go to those doctors, the first thing they want to do is prescribe you medication, and then
every time,
and then they fill them at CVS.
At their pharmacy, yeah.
You don't tell them your choice of pharmacy, they're gonna send your shit to CVS automatically. Now,
but even not to cut you off though. Even if you do go to your own pharmacy, they only let you fill so many times before you have to fill.
Well, you have to go to theirs. Yeah.
That's why I was about to get.
Yep. Because that's where I go now.
I work for Caremark.
That's where I go now.
CVS, and let's not forget now they got the CVS specialty.
Nah, okay, so I want to say I worked for CVS Caremark for about 12 years. They had the insurance first. They always had that specialty pharmacy. You
Yeah, yeah,
just didn't know about it because I worked for specialty back in 2013.
yeah.
So it's always been there, but you now they actually requiring you to go to their specialty and to their pharmacy, they mail order. And into their local pharmacy. If it's something you can't get that mail order, you gotta go through them. And they've been doing that for a while now. I know you ain't lying because I work for them. Like, and all the systems is connected.
Man,
And
all of them.
I say all that to say this is why, as you just said, they want you to be loopy. They want to keep prescribing you the medication. And they don't give a fuck about you having no fucking infection.
No, they don't. No, listen. I kept telling them, hey, I ain't gonna say the doctor name, but I kept telling them, hey, the QME said that y'all need to check for this. That lady was telling me every time, and I will say her name. Oh damn, I done forgot her name because I hated her so much. It was something like Veronica, so I couldn't stand that bitch. She not my doctor no more though. They got rid of her. But she was telling me all the time, oh no, you don't have an infection. Bitch, you ain't ran no tests. I said this to her too one day. I said, I've been coming to you for 3 years. You have never touched my body. You have never gave me a thorough exam. You look at that book and you look at that paper and then you prescribe me those pills and you send me home. You ain't never touched me. How you gonna tell me what the fuck I got or what's going on?
And she ain't gonna touch you because she don't. Again, back to my question. On top of everything each and every one of us deal with, Erica, Keith, Leroy, do y'all know not only are we trying to heal from trauma, but we healing from trauma from being black.
Look, that's why I was talking about the environment, because that's why I wanted us to lead into about us specifically, right? Because the environmental traumas that's around us, not just in the hospital system, in every fucking system, are real. And they always try to navigate around them like we playing the victim. No, bitch, I know what playing the victim look like. That's a bunch of DEI construct people calling us the DEIs. Y'all the ones that's all of these different names that call y'all self white. That's DEI. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion, because y'all done included all of these other motherfuckers into this program or this system or this construct or this institution so y'all could win while we still losing. We do the work. We want to be, and we still don't get that.
The greatest thing, especially for like African Americans, which is why they keep it from us and they try to make sure we stay stupid. That's why, if you notice, we don't get the best schools in the hood.
Hell no.
We don't get the best education because they don't want you to know the things that make us great. Like, if black people really looked around us and seen how excellent we are and all the things that we capable of, and we actually figured out how to come together as a race, we would be unstoppable. We've always been unstoppable. But the problem is that they have convinced us that we don't matter. Which is crazy. And they have convinced a lot of black people that, oh, it's better to be white. You want to be like us. But I don't want to be like you.
Or it's better to be a degenerate black, because then you can manipulate and use other black people. So still being white, right? Because they tell you, oh, well, won't you just act like this? Because then you could get the money, you could get the power, you could get the respect, and you could treat black people the same way we do.
But that's what I'm saying. The American dream is a joke. It
ain't no fucking dream.
America is a joke.
Ain't no dream.
Say that shit again, E. America is a fucking joke.
I've been saying that since the first term that Trump was in office.
I was saying it before him, because if we pay attention to the way that they got the system set up, right? And white people should be paying attention to it too, because they use them as the sheepdog. I don't want to call us sheep. They use them to corral and herd other people into certain movements, just like we was talking about these trends. These trends started with white people. You know what I'm saying? You see all of the doctors who now they coming out that they was frauds. They about to what's her name? I can't think of her first name, but her last name is Means, and she do something with like keto and all of that stuff. Trump about to put her in his administration. He got Dr. Oz in his administration. He got Kennedy in his administration. None of them are real doctors.
But that's what I'm saying. It's gotta hurt, right? Cause like the dude that they fired as, I think he like the military. He's supposed to be the head military guy, whatever, over the military. The original dude before Trump appointed this dumbass that they got right now was a black
Pete
dude.
Hegseth is the dude they got now.
Pete
Yeah.
Hegseth is a dumbass though. He
I
don't
call
know
it as
shit.
carrot breath. He don't know shit. No.
Carrot
No.
top. But
Yeah.
the guy before him had been in the military 20 years. He was a black dude. He was decorated. He actually
Yeah, they did fire him. What was that brother name?
I
Yeah.
can't remember his name, but they fired him. I think he was appointed by Obama or somebody way back when. But
Yeah, he had been in it for a while though. You're right. You're right, Leroy.
and then they came in, they got rid of all the black women that worked in hood, like all these different things, Section 8.
Well, they got the black dude in HUD right now. But look at how
But
look
he's a
at what it's for.
Republican. Hold on.
Exactly what I was saying earlier. That's why I said that. That's why they put him in there, because he steps on our neck. He don't care about us.
And like we talked about, like what they did to Jasmine Crockett. It's sad, but it's Texas. That's why. Although I'm comfortable here and I like my place or whatever, I don't like Texas. Texas is still racist to this day, even in the more culturally diverse parts. They racist here. They voted for the guy, and he a Democrat, but they didn't want to vote for a black woman, so they voted for that man. And he ain't no better than the Republicans. They all stupid. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. The racism is real. And so it's really a lot dealing with trauma and still trying to heal from your own personal environmental trauma to, on top of that, be trying to heal while black. Because everything we do is a problem. Everywhere you go is a problem.
That's a good title for a book, Healing While Black. I like that one.
It is.
Black. Yeah.
Maybe I'll write it. Shit.
Hey, you already wrote a couple. You might as well, for real. I'll help you. I'll tell my story in the book too.
So my answer to that question would be, honestly, self-consciously, I think that I've always used education to free myself from all of that. You know what I mean? You know, I think I told y'all on the first one, like, because of my childhood trauma, I just never signed up for Section 8.
Yeah, you did.
House, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, because if I'm a part of it, then I'm gonna be the problem. I'm gonna be a part of the problem. So I don't want to be a part of it. So I think that's how I heal from it. Just not saying ignoring it, because I know it's here. It's in my face. But I don't have to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I don't have to be a part of it. And I always have used education for my scapegoat. You know, I didn't go to the neighborhood schools. I went to private school, surprisingly, first to second grade. Then I went to Oscar Mayer. So, you know, I had to test into Oscar Mayer. So I was always running and searching for that. I always knew that if I used my brains, my education, it would take me away from Cabrini Green.
And so, that makes sense too.
Yeah, and I just think that was my healing, and that was a unconscious thing. It wasn't something that I did consciously. It was just something. And then the things that my mother instilled in us too, you know, because my mother gave us hugs. My mother loved on us.
Yeah, I come from a loving family too. I feel
you know what I mean? Yeah, like
my daddy too. My daddy still kisses me on my cheek right now. He old, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So yes.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Even with my father, when he decided to get saved and he went through his whole healing journey too, I can honestly say that my father was a kind man. You know what I mean? My father took me to go get my nails and feet done. You know, my dad And then I had good people in my life too, but my dad showed me how to change a tire. I was thinking about that, Leroy.
Mm.
So that's why I said like maybe because he was in and out our life. He wasn't never just not in our life, but he was on drugs.
Yeah.
And we all know that drugs is a powerful demon. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it was like he wanted it, and so he did the work. He did the
And
work.
shout out to your daddy, E, for real.
Because I saw that, and then with my mother, her mother was very abusive. My mother was a boarding school child. My mother went to boarding school at 11. And the crazy thing about it is my mother ran away every year from her boarding school back home.
Wow.
Because she wanted to be with her mother and her siblings. But her mother kept sending her back. So think about that trauma. You see what I'm saying? And then when my mother got away from that, she had my brother at 17.
Can I cut in just real quick? Let me just say this. I just gotta give you some praise, because what I'm hearing is that you had great examples of healers and healing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use my white voice. Healers and I don't even know if they talk like that, but you had great examples of somebody who, you know what I'm saying, turned their traumas and their pains into something else. What they transmuted it, but not only that, you got to see it. You a living witness.
Did, and that's why I always say I'm grateful for my parents. I mean, I ain't had the best parents, but they were some damn good parents.
Yeah.
They showed me love, unconditional. They showed us, tough love. My father and my mother showed me my mother showed me how to be a woman. My father showed me how to be independent. You know what I mean? Even when to the fact of him not coming when he said he was coming. I used to tell my dad in my 30s, like, nigga, you ain't never buy me that bike you said you was gonna buy me. You know what I mean?
To his chest, hey, you owe me, nigga.
But the crazy part is,
I promise you, at 32 years old, my dad bought me a bike.
Wow. Now wait a minute. Let's shout out to your daddy for real, because you know what? He kept his word. Yeah, but he did do the work. And that's one of those things where it's not performative, because he didn't buy that bike because you needed to buy. I ain't saying you did or didn't, because I don't know, but he bought that bike because he told you he was gonna get it for you. And now he in a position where that's in the forefront of his mind. I got to get my baby this bike. That's real healing right there, and passed on to you.
Like you just said, I had strong, influenced healers in front of me.
Yeah.
My grandmother was living all my life. She outlived all of her children.
Wow.
Because she was so evil.
Yeah.
Man, I believe that. No, I believe that.
She was so evil. She was so
mean. I believe that.
Let me tell y'all something. Because we talking about healing. So my baby uncle was 7 years older than me.
I got some aunties 3 years older than me, so I feel you.
I can remember him being 19 and him coming to my mother's house. We lived in 1119 North Cleveland.
The castle?
1705. I would never forget this. My grandmother lived in Allgale Garden.
In the hundreds?
That's where they was raised at.
Okay.
He came all the way to Cabrini Green to tell his big sister that his mama put a gun in his mouth and made him eat spaghetti and fish because she had cooked it, but he had just went out to eat with his girlfriend.
Wow.
And told him if he didn't eat it that she was going to blow his brain.
And I feel like she would have really did it just the way your face looked.
Oh, he felt like she would have really did it. So I say all that to say, my mother came from that type of household.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a 360. So you can't tell me that
healing ain't possible, basically.
Ain't possible.
Come
Because
on.
my uncle, I promise y'all, my grandmother passed away on a Thursday. We had the viewing of her body on a Friday. My uncle was rushed to the hospital the day of the viewing of her body, the baby brother, and he never came home. He passed. We buried him 4 weeks later.
You think he was waiting for her to go?
I think and this is just my honest to God truth, that because he knew he was never going to get that love from his mother,
That's deep.
that he just, it's like, what else do I have? Because I ain't going to never get that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have any children. And he was my uncle that stayed with my mother. He stayed with my mama damn near half of our life. So he didn't have, you know what I mean? He didn't have no girlfriend. He ain't had no wife. He ain't had no children. So it was like my mother's the only thing left. It was, it was me, my sister, my brother, but it was like his mother was the only thing left.
Yes, that's a different love.
2 weeks before my mother passed, her and I was on the phone for 2.5 hours. And one of the things she said to me, which was something she said to her children all the time, was, all I ever wanted in life, because I've accomplished everything that I wanted to do, was for my mother to love.
Man, listen here.
That's crazy. I feel like
I'm gonna be really real. I feel you.
Through that trauma, when I say my mother loved on her children because she had the lack of.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean about healing too in black households.
It works.
Well, no, not just the fact that it worked, but it's two ways to learn something. You can either learn it by seeing the behavior yourself or seeing the adverse behavior and saying, I want to be different. So, like, my dad wasn't shit, but if I knew if I was going to be a father, I would be a better father because I seen the way he did us.
Yep.
And so, that's the only way you learn in a black household. Most of it, though, obviously through God, but it's through either seeing it or not seeing it and wanting to do different. If you smart,
my mother always said. My mother always said that.
Because my mama sent me to live with my daddy when I was about 14. I turned 15 in Georgia, right? And my daddy always been a good dude. He was on drugs too, but he was a bad drug addict, but he was a really functional drug addict because he had skills, right? He was a carpenter, amen. So he had his own business. He knew how to work, so he was able to pay for his drugs. So he always did drugs, and he never hid it from me either, which was one thing that I really respected too, which is going to what Leroy said, why I don't like drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen what they did to my dad. But when I got to Georgia, I always knew my dad was a womanizer. That's kind of, when I was young, I thought it was cool because my dad and my uncle, the one who was talking about got killed in my building, he was a womanizer too. So as a younger male, I thought that was cool. I thought that was the way we were supposed to be. Then when I went to Georgia and I really got to see it firsthand, not just like the glorious part of him strutting these chicks around or,
in-house.
Yeah, in-house, I used to always, man, my dad would tell you, my dad would testify that I used to tell him all the time, all them demons that these women bring into this house or that you share with them, y'all share those things, y'all demons. My dad was cold on the bitch, as they say. You know what I'm saying? And he had a lot of women. And I'm a teenage boy too. You know what I'm saying? New to Georgia. I got an accent. I got long hair. Wasn't really no dudes in Georgia with long hair either. And I mean, my hair was to my, Leroy, you remember how my hair was? I used to always wear the old dog braids. My hair was super long. So you know, a lot of women was attracted to me, and a lot of guys was either intimidated by me, want to try to, you know, it was some type of thing going on with the guys too. But I had a lot of girls that was attracted to me. So initially, I was like, I want to be like my dad. You know, I want to mess with all these girls. But I had, and I'm gonna give some shout out to a white dude. I had a white dude because I went to, like I said, growing up, I was in all the churches. I went to every church, you know what I'm saying? But I was at St. Matthew's every day. And I had a white mentor from St. Matthew's who, because I was already having sex. I probably was one of my only friends that was having sex at a young age. And he told me, he said, think about your thing like a gold chain. You keep giving it to all these different women, it ain't gonna have no value, you know? So stop doing that. Cause somebody snitched on me when we was at this little camp and was like, yeah, Keith over there. And I was juicing. I mean, I was having sex, but I'm talking about the girl that was talking about, we were juicing. I hadn't did nothing to her. She was a white
I
girl too.
love that word, juicy.
Hey man, juicing was the shit. I ain't gonna lie. To bring back juicing, I still juice. I ain't gonna lie. That's some good foreplay. But I'm getting a shirt that say bring back juicing. I ain't gonna have it on next week, but I'm getting a shirt that say bring back juicing. But seeing my daddy and the way that he did women, and he had a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Leroy stupid. But I saw him doing that, and exactly what Leroy just said. I told myself, I'll never be like that. Never. One, I used to always think about diseases, not for myself, but for my daddy. I'm like, this nigga gonna get AIDS. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, back then, AIDS was still, and we're in Atlanta. So AIDS running through it. Atlanta probably still the AIDS capital of the United States. I don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying back then it was. And then, you know, seeing the way that he messed with a lot of strippers and, you know, all of these different women who, it wasn't like he was messing around with hella church women or, you know, upright women. He messed around with women that's in that same lifestyle that he in on the weekend. My dad used to have Rick James parties. Listen, everybody come to the crib. He got a big old thing of Coke in the kitchen on the counter. He love Absolute. Not now, because he don't do none of that stuff now, but he had Absolute with the ice on the top. You could come. You get as high as you want. You can sleep with all the women that you want, do all the drugs, drink all the liquor. You got to get butt naked when you come in his house. Leave your clothes. He had a little clothes hamper type thing. You fold your clothes up, put your clothes in there. Everybody in there butt naked except for me. Because you ain't stealing none of my daddy's shit. You pay to get in, but you damn sure ain't leaving with none of this coke. You going to do all the coke and drugs that you want to do right here in this, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I probably was 16. And I'm seeing this every day.
Sending you to.
Oh, listen to me. Me and my dad talk about this all the time now because that's my best friend. I ain't gonna say that's my best friend. I love my dad because during those times, like so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he high as a kite. Monday through the first part of Friday, he at work. Don't nobody. He ran a whole bunch of complexes as he had a contract with this thing USAA, right? So he ran a whole bunch of complexes as the top maintenance man or something. So he hired people, trained people, you know, he had apartments in all of the dopest complexes in Atlanta. Overlook Atlanta, Cumberland, all the dopest apartments. And he had a house. You know what I'm saying? So we bouncing around. All my friends love me because my dad got all the drugs, first of all. So all my homies coming over, and he got all the hoes. So all my homies, that's what made me super popular in Georgia. My daddy got all the drugs and all the women. But I told myself, I said, I'd never be like that. I can't do that. And that's why I love on my wife, how hard I love her. I ain't had no real girlfriend, and I'm going to be totally honest about that. I ain't had no real girlfriend until I met my wife. You know what I'm saying? I messed around with women, and I was like a super honest person too. Like if I'm messing with you and I'm messing with 3 other girls or whatever, I'm telling you because one, I don't want you to catch me with somebody and then be acting crazy. And I did have a crazy one. I ain't gonna mention her name because she just didn't want to work with the program. But it wasn't because she really loved me. It was because of the physical attraction that we had with each other. You know what I'm saying? But that shit scarred me, bro. To the point where exactly what you said, Leroy, I learned from that. That was a trauma in itself on me. Seeing that revolving door of women and drug use and you know when like niggas be thinking that shit cool. Niggas aspire to be like that. I was right there in the lion's den. You don't want to be in that type of trauma. You don't. That shit it'll kill you. It a kid that
And
shit
I
was
was
driving
gonna
me
say that
crazy.
I think that's the thing about you. Said that was your uncle that died 4 weeks after your grandma passed. That's who you was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem with that was that I think your uncle was holding on for her love,
Yep.
which,
That's what I was thinking too.
but
Yeah,
I think the thing was is that his life he hated her. Here you won't know why he
Yeah, he
hated
hated her.
her,
He worried, wait
but
a
that's
minute,
what
why I
kept
can't
him
see why? But
alive.
he definitely hated her. He definitely hated her.
I think that's
We
what it
all
is.
knew that.
He hated her so much that that's what kept him alive. So when she
that's why I
passed,
said, did she think he was waiting? Right, exactly what you're saying, Leroy. Because that's what I was thinking. He was waiting for her to
because
die so he could go.
he knew he wasn't gonna
He knew
never
he was gonna
love.
never
He
get
never was gonna get
Hmm
that love from
He
her.
just wanted to
But
outlive her. That was spite.
he also was thinking that maybe the older she got, maybe she would have changed, but she never did because somebody
Hmm
never.
traumatized. But the sad part is somebody traumatized her. Somebody did
Yeah,
all those awful
wait,
things to
listen.
her.
Think about
Let
the
me tell you,
time that she came up in too.
I was about to say she was born the very year, April of the Great Depression.
Yeah, so think about that. The time she grew up in, all she knew
She
was
was the
trauma.
second child of 15 kids, and her mother died at childbirth.
So she had to take care of a whole bunch of kids too. Yep.
And
I knew
her
that.
and my oldest auntie was the two meanest, evilest women you would have ever, or just like why. And then the siblings. So look, I did have a grandmother figure. I just never had a
Mm-hmm.
grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother, youngest sister, she kind of just took in my mother. You know what I mean? She had all boys,
Mm.
and then she kind of like played the grandmother role for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like took us shopping. We would go to
Yeah.
her house. She was like our big mom.
Hey,
You know,
great aunts
auntie.
are great people. I'll tell you that right now. Great
Yeah,
aunts are
yeah.
great people. For real. For
Aunties
real.
are the best. I promise you, they are.
Look, my daddy got a whole bunch of siblings. It's 16 of them. Well, not now, but I got some. I told you I talked to my uncle this morning. That's my auntie husband. But they twin. My grandma had, well, my granddad had 4 sets of twins. So it was, it's a lot of twins around. So I love my aunties. Those is, and they, like you just said, they kind of like a little grandma figure. It's like that other mate, that maternal love that you could have.
My dad, his siblings are mostly all his siblings are still living, and he was the oldest of all of them. But yeah, but my grandmother, and which is crazy because check this out. So my grandmother had 6 children. Her first oldest children she gave away.
Mm.
We didn't, we knew about them, but like we didn't meet them or none of that until like I didn't meet my oldest auntie until my grandma died. She came to my grandma's funeral. She found out her mama had died. She knew who her mama was because she was with her daddy people. You know what I mean? Anyway, my daddy family. Remember, my father was the firstborn of 6 kids from his daddy. She So she left 4 kids. So she was pregnant with one, and she took her daughter with her and went to Chicago. And she left those older boys, and my father was the oldest of those. So keep in mind that both of my grandparents abandoned children.
Yeah. But think about this too,
So
E.
That's
That
trauma.
was a normal thing back then. Cause I wasn't gonna put my
yeah,
mama business out there. But even though we all knew my grandma, Leroy, you never met my other grandma Granny. My grandma Granny wasn't my mama's mama, right? That was the lady who my grandma that Leroy know gave my mama to. So my mama dealt with the same pain that you talking about, and she did inflict some of that pain on us. And Leroy tell my mama didn't play no games, but she also instilled that love because she was a super loving person because she always felt like my grandma didn't love her. But my grandma loved on us, my mama's kids. My grandma loved on us so much that I hear the stories and I know the stories, but I could never believe it because I didn't know that Gwen. You know what I mean? But I see them arguing and they dynamic, so I knew that it was real. But me and you, like our families had that in common because My grandma took care of her sons. She got rid of her daughters.
See,
Oh wow.
my mother. So my grandma had 2 kids by one man. Then she had my mama by a married man,
Mm,
and then she had all the rest of her kids by her husband. So
mm.
my mama was that married man,
So she really didn't like her.
and my mother was a pretty woman. So she was the prettiest kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, they used to be like, your mama was fast and all that. My mother was like, I ran away because my mama beat me. She used to abuse me.
Yep.
Like, it had nothing to do with no man. And then I met your daddy, and then I just ran to him. Like, but my mama used to beat me. You know what I'm saying? And she had all those kids, and she put my mama in a boarding home.
And you know what?
But
That's a whole nother level of trauma.
They was taking them ass whoopings. My mama wasn't trying to take them ass whoopings.
That's what I was going to say. That's a whole nother level of trauma. Sometimes you that's around.
Why the fuck you whooping our ass like this? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But she despised her. She despised her because of who her father was.
Come on, Leroy. That's true. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Like, I'm telling y'all, now I'm going to tell you how fucked up my family is.
And Leroy, just let me just add this.
Go ahead.
Now, keep in mind that I said I've never had a grandmother because my Henry was the first grandchild. So he was born in my grandma's house. When my mom got pregnant with me, she found out she was having. My mama always said this. My grandmother tell this story too. When she found out she was pregnant with a girl, she put my mama out.
Let me say this. Wait, let me talk about that historical thing again. You know what used to be happening back in the day, and something that we don't talk about enough? Men was touching on these little girls. So when girls was born into them families, they got them out of those houses. We might look at it as wrong, but a lot of times that was the only way they could protect them. Because when they came of age to have periods, they fucking on them girls.
Yep.
They was fucking on them before they had period shit.
Well, that's true.
That's another episode.
Because they was pregnant.
Because I can go on and on and on about my daddy people and what all that's going on. Because I this is my right hand. I got 2 first cousins, mamas, sisters. They got a baby by each other.
Listen, that was happening a lot, and think about this too.
The girl is 2 years older than the boy. Let's keep that in mind.
Wait, look, Leroy, think about this too. How that was trained into them, right? Because you didn't even know. Well, in the 1920s, you probably did, but prior to that, you didn't even know who your family was for real. Because the people who was owning our people, so to speak, was taking them away. They was mating them kids together a lot of the times. Well, I don't got nobody on the property is kin.
Initially, that is where it come from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
everybody on the property is kin.
So look, it gets so deep. Oh my God, it gets so deep. Oh, Yazoo.
That's where my people from. Yazoo.
Where your people from? You said
Yazoo.
Horn Lake.
Leroy, South Haven.
Horn Lake.
Okay, let's just go back a little.
Come on.
So, I'm in Greenville. You and Yazoo. You and Horn Lake. We all on plantation. I'm with this slave owner. You with that slave owner. You with that slave owner. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Leroy, you got a wife and all that, but you do something. Now they finna take your wife. They take your wife and send her right to Yazoo City, which is literally a hop and a motherfucking skip.
Yeah.
But in your slave ass fucking mind, you thinking they just took your motherfucking child all the way to New York somewhere.
Or Oklahoma, something right. Away.
And so the problem is, I'm on this plantation, you on this plantation, and this plantation. So now it's generations and generations and generations of people being on these plantations. Leroy just fucked around and had a baby by his cousin.
Don't know. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's just how this shit happens. And that's what happened. Because when I say it's a lot of bloodline, listen, men try to talk to me all the time. They be like, what's your name? I be like, hey, cousin.
Wait, look.
That might be my fucking
That's
cousin.
the reason. Look, that's the reason why we start saying that. Who you some kin to? That was trained into us for that exact reason. When I first moved to California, rest in peace to my cousin Kato. That nigga told me soon as I got out here, because my granddaddy probably got a whole bunch of more kids that we don't know about, and my granddaddy was having a lot of twins. My cousin said, if you meet some Townsends, he named like the other last names that I didn't even know about yet, right? He said, because grandpa got some kids, some kids. It's some kids. It's some of your kin out there where you live. So he said, if you meet some Townsends, don't fuck them. Because they going to definitely be your family. Yes, because, back then, like, I've been doing my ancestry. I'm all the way back to, like, 1800 on some, 1700 on another. I love that ancestry shit. Late at night, like, when I get off of here, I'm going to get on there. I love doing that ancestry thing. But as I'm looking back, up until my mama generation that was born, it was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 kids with every day. I ain't got no kin that didn't have less than 10 kids but before my grandma. Because with my grandma on my mama's side, it's only 3. But even on my dad's side, it's a bunch of them. It's all of them got 10 and 15 kids and shit.
Let me ask you something. So, as of not the names that the people that came up with, but did you notice how those names are recycled?
Yeah,
like we got a lot of James, Henry Williams,
Jasper my family. Yep.
We had for some reason we got initials, so we got AD, SB.
Same for us.
My daddy name was H. C. Warfield.
No, look, same exact thing for us. Even to the point.
But it's recycled. It's like 100 years later. It's another motherfucker, John Williams.
Wait, I did that with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the family trait. Yeah. What? Yes. Yeah. And it make it harder on ancestry. It make it harder to find your people too, like that. Yeah.
The ancestors, I don't care if we found them or not. Your ancestors, that bloodline run deep. That shit don't go away. I'm telling you.
And you can kind of tell too. You could tell when they your cousins or whatever, because y'all.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Man, wait, I'm gonna be
wondering why you feel so familiar when you see them. That's because they probably is your damn family.
Wait, listen, I'm gonna be all the way honest, right? Wait, listen, I got to say this. I was living on 68th. My mama had a house on Michigan on 68th. Little girl live around the corner. I can't even think her name now. She my cousin. I didn't know this though. Fine. I'm trying to get her. So one day she finally break. She come over to the crib. I got a picture of my uncle. I got a picture of my family on my daddy's side. And my uncle and auntie is in another frame in the picture. We in there and we about to do what Leroy love. We about to juice a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She ain't trying to give me none, but she feeling me. I'm feeling her. And yeah, we definitely was about to scrape, not no grapes either. We was about to squeeze some mangoes and peaches or something. You know what I'm saying? And she looked and she said, and I mean, she said it just like this. She said, where the fuck you get that picture from? And I said, what? She said, where the fuck you get that picture from? I'm like, damn, you offended by my family? Like, you tripping. What are you talking about? She said, that's my daddy. I said, oh, damn, that's my uncle. I said, that's your real daddy? She said, that's my dad. I said, damn, we kin.
But you know what?
I'm like, that's why I think you're so fine, because I think I look good. You know what I'm saying? At work, Leroy.
That happened to me at work, though. At work. I wasn't trying to hit on nobody or nothing, but I was there, and it was like 4 of these ladies. They my cousins, and I didn't know. We were talking, and my cousin Blondie died. And so I was talking about how I had to take off that weekend because I had to go to her funeral. And my cousin was like, I had to take off too. Who was your cousin? I'm like, Blondie. She say, you know that's my cousin. Well, that we cousins. Whole time I'm working with my family for 3 years, I don't even know. And it's a bunch of their ass.
Man,
too,
yeah. And think about this too, especially in Chicago. because we got so much family that come from down south, right, and come and migrated to Chicago. So and like he was saying, they done came from different plantations or different parts of the South, and they can, and sometimes they do be knowing, you know what I'm saying, because that paperwork travel with them. You used to belong to Mr. This or Mr. That. Something hella sad that I found. I found a plantation. It's the Jaeger plantation in Satoria or Satoria, something like that, Mississippi, that owned one of my great granddaddies. And I printed, no, I didn't print it out. I got it saved in my phone because I've been trying to search for that family now because Jaeger still own a lot of, farmland and stuff like that. But I've been trying to search for that family because something that I noticed too, people will put pictures on Ancestry to go with the name or the person, then you can see what family tree that belonged to, and then you see where they came from and all this other stuff. So you made a good point about how they was just throwing us to the wolves. Here, send them. Oh no, especially when the family was together like this, like the husband actually trying to protect the wife or vice versa. They all break them up. Send her over here. What they used to call them? They called the men bucks and they called the ladies something. But a good breeder. And yeah, we're gonna send her over here. She a good breeder. She can give us 30 more kids and all this other crazy
That's
stuff.
crazy though. That is crazy.
But
That
the
word
thing
breeder
though,
is crazy.
if you keep reading, you'll realize that they kept the husband and wives together and they took the kids.
Yeah, they took the kids all the time. Every time. They separate the kids when they first born, go have him sucking on somebody else, nursing on somebody else. They took the kids damn near immediately.
It's like as soon as you did something, they was like, that was your punishment.
Gotta go. That's your punishment. Yep, gotta go.
But they had plans on taking you anyway. Like that's what I'm saying. The cruel shit and the trauma from that, and we still ain't came. We still have not.
We ain't learned how to heal from that yet, Leroy. Because how do you? Where do you heal from that from?
So my
family these conversations about this
plantation, and they it was like 5 generations. I still got family that live on Panther Burn
right now.
Mm-hmm. My sister live on Panther Burn. She was born and raised on Panther Burn.
How did that feel? Because that just gave me an eerie feeling.
What you just said, I always tell them they need to knock it down. It's just dark, cloudy, so much shit didn't happen on there. I can't see it. Molestation.
Oh, that put a burn in my stomach so deep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being down here younger. It was so many houses. It was like plantations, like red. They called them the Project Red. Mm-hmm. That's what my sister and them lived in. They all was 4 bedrooms.
Them slave quarters, huh?
Yeah, and it ain't nothing there now, nothing. But I just find it real interesting. Like I say, they don't have a stop sign. They don't have stoplight. Well, they do got a stop sign. They got 2 stop signs. They don't have a stoplight. They don't have no mayor. They don't have no alderman. They don't have no police station. They don't have no fire department. They don't have no post office. Like,
so nobody. Wait, let me say this, because what you just said go to the question that Leroy asked about how do we heal from that trauma, right? It's building these systems in for ourselves and starting to have some real community again. Because I read a lot about that time. I love history. I'm a history buff, right? And I love to read too. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, I got thousands of books. So, I ain't gonna say thousands. I got close to 1,000 though. But that during that time, our people was way more, and I mean, they was going through some real trauma, but they was way more resilient. And I hate using that word, but they was way more resilient, way more resourceful, way more community, oriented and organized, and dealing with that trauma and that pain in a way that I don't think we honor enough, because and I'm not saying that in our DNA and in our makeup that pain don't rest and exist there, because it obviously do. Look how our conversation changed. We still on the same topic, but I'm talking about look how serious it got, although we've been serious the whole time, but about this. that pain is still in all of us, right? We gotta
Yes.
start building these systems for us to have spaces. You know how they say safe spaces. We really need those safe spaces for us to heal, for us to congregate again, for us to get back to our what we ate, how we praised God, how we worship. You know what I'm saying? They stole all of those things from us and then gave us. They didn't give us their stuff either. They gave us just whatever. Here, this what you can do. Not what you should do or what's right to do, what you can do. And then and with the strength that we have, we turned that into something that was great. But now we like so far away from it, going back to like thinking about grandmas and stuff, those people who still carried those stories and was instilling that in us. We got so far away from it that now we kind of operate within this unhealthy system unhealthily ourselves. We think that the trauma is the healing, and it ain't. We live with those trauma bonds, and we follow those traumatic systems, and it ain't right.
But you've been told to process that trauma the way we process it today. It's not so much. One thing that I want to say, and then we all gonna wrap it up and talk about this, but we gonna wrap it up. The problem that I have with the world today is that nobody actually does or thinks for themselves. Nobody does things or go and research things to see what's better. And the reason why our community is so fucked up is because we can't even be in the same spaces together. Like, I noticed that black people are the only people on this planet that can't live together. We can't congregate too much together. We can't be in the same, like, we not gonna go to the black grocery store because we don't trust it. We not gonna go to the black beauty supply, even though the Asians treat us like shit, but we not gonna go because, girl, that bitch gonna try to scam us and get more money out of us than the China. And so the problem is we have lost pride in ourselves. We have lost the ability to educate ourselves. Don't trust. We don't trust each other. You can't even go nowhere. And it's like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I moved here in Houston, because I remember being here the last time, I was expecting community, like us coming together and me being able to be cool with my neighbors. But the more I'm around them, my guard up. Because I'm just like, you showing me that I can't eat. And I always say, what would Jesus do? But Jesus wasn't no fool either. Like, it's okay to have discernment, but I should feel comfortable around my people, and I don't. I don't trust them. I don't want to be bothered with them. I don't want to have a conversation, and that hurts my heart because I wish I did. I should feel.
It's not really that you don't want to have a conversation with them. It's because you are healing. It's just certain shit you don't want to do. You don't want to have your favorite word, stupid shit going on. You don't want no stupid conversation. You don't want to hear nothing stupid. You don't want to talk to nobody stupid. You don't want to see nobody doing stupid shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It ain't really necessary, like, the black people. It's just where you are. It depends where you are in life, who you gonna have around you. You know what I mean? And then you could eliminate all that dumb other bullshit. But again, we have to do what we doing and talk about it. Spread the word. Educate our people. Educate your nieces. Educate your children. Educate your nephews. Don't ever forget that. We have to
don't.
Because they trying to erase it. And look, it is possible for us to come together. I always tell people.
It is.
When we out here, when they was out here fucking killing Sandra Bland and Trayvon Martin, I know we could fucking come together. Because we was coming together.
Look how we came together with that shit in Alabama when they was trying to jump on that black man and motherfuckers was hopping off the boat.
Black man, they just hopped in to help.
The problem is these young motherfuckers. It's the younger generation. And when they get our age, they're going to be talking about this and they're going to be saying the same thing.
But look, and
most of them.
This how I see it, because I know I said something about.
The times will be different because they're going to be in a different time.
Yes.
But at some point, we just got to realize, so, yeah, niggas, we can't deal with niggas. But we got black folks out here like you and I who trying to be united, who really trying to do things, who really trying to stand all down, who really trying to heal, who really trying to not blame the white man, but we know it's the white man.
Yeah, we know it's the cause. Yeah.
We don't want to keep on shifting that. We need to change the trajectory of that. For the simple fact, we bigger than that. We stand for more than that. I know my worth, and I know you know your worth, and I know you know your worth. And when we all realize that, oh, they not gonna be able to stop us.
They know that already.
We just gotta keep doing what we do. Keep talking, keep being knowledgeable, keep having these podcasts,
then to me, you got
the uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But you got two type of black people that you gotta be careful with. Like he said, niggas. Niggas is number one. And then you gotta be Now, niggas is different than Uncle Tom. Niggas just don't care about nothing. They don't want nothing. And they there to do exactly what the devil do: steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got.
I'm gonna show you too.
Black people. Then you got saboteur black people who they hate themselves for being black. Like that motherfucker on that movie where he was like, I hate Whoopi Goldberg lips cause they black. Like I'm talking about, you got them kind of niggas.
I hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck.
And I hate that black ass Wesley Snipes that see shit like that. Where they shit funny.
Oh, that is funny
it's
though.
Funny. But it's funny as fuck, but it's also true. You got niggas out here like that, where they hate everything about being black. They want to be white so bad, they could damn near feel it, they skin turning vanilla. Like, the shit is crazy.
We talking to them motherfuckers.
But wait, I want to say this, because I disagree on the nigga part. Not on niggas be doing some crazy shit, but I love being a nigga. I'm gonna be 100% honest, right? And so it has been
black.
I know I'm black, but I'm saying I am a nigga. I got to say that I am a nigga, and because because of the radical way that I think about what's going on in this world, right? I don't fit into a certain box like some other black people do, right? I'm not what y'all just said, Uncle Tom, and really it's a Sambo, because Uncle Tom was the nigga that was trying to help the niggas, yeah. So I'm not a Sambo. I'm not shucking and jiving for him. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. So at the end of the day, I probably present more as a nigga than I do as a black man, but in the most respectful way. And in the Bible, right? You got to remember this. In the Bible,
no respect. But hold on. There is no respectable way of being a nigga. That's what I'm saying. Now you may not.
Hear me out, Leroy. Hear me out. No. Hear me out. Let's hear where I'm going with this. In the Bible, right? There is a point in Acts 13:1. They say, "Aren't you Simon, that nigga?" That's what they called him. I'm Simon, that nigga. That's that. I'm that nigga. I'm the come into the room. I've been building systems with people. I've been bringing my people together. I've been working on putting community together. We done got, I ain't even gonna go into all the stuff that we doing with what we doing, but we done got to a point where we actually putting these systems in place for healing, right? I'm the nigga they don't want to see in the room. Remember on Deep Cover, he said he asked them something, and he asked them what's the difference between a black man and a nigga. And what did that nigga say? He said the nigga is the one who wouldn't even answer that question. You know why? Because he was saying, I'm that nigga. Because they want black people to play respectability politics. If Jasmine Crockett was still being as intelligent as she was and using some of that nigga that she got deep down in her heart, they wouldn't play with her motherfucking name like that. Because they'll be afraid of what she'll really do. And I ain't talking about killing and stabbing and hooting and hollering. I'm talking about with the education and with the strong mind that she have. In Malcolm X, what that nigga said, what makes you ashamed of being black? Cause you scared to let your real nigga out. You scared to be who you can be.
Some nigga in her.
She got it, and it come out. Remember with the blonde butch body, whatever that was, it came out.
But you know what?
And I
The
understand what you're
sad
saying
part
about
is,
niggas.
the sad part is too about Jasmine Crockett. I like that nigga in her when she being that because
See,
unfortunately,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
as,
I
us
just
as
feel like she
African,
being black, but of course, in a room full of white people, she gonna be called the nigga.
but see,
I
when
feel like
yeah,
we talking about nigga like we talking about now, that's how we can make the distinguish how we could distinguish it, right? Because the people we talking about that we really don't like, that's bringing down the black community, are niggers.
yes.
Because we look at them like that too. When I see people that I love or that I respect, I call them nigga all the time. You know what nigga come from? It come from royalty, Goose. Look at how many African tribes and things of that nature use that word nigga, and it didn't mean what they done taught us that it meant. That shit meant royalty. You're not gonna take that away from me. That's in my DNA. I ain't afraid to be that nigga. Now I don't never want to be a nigger, cause a nigger or a niggardly person, you know what I'm saying? Them ignorant, them is people who despiteful and all of that other shit. I ain't that. I'm an
And
N-I-G-G-A.
so
What
now
he
I
said,
do
never
like.
ignorant, getting goals
Now I do
accomplished.
like. Now I do like how you just distinguish between the two right there with the nigga and nigger, cause nigger shit is
Yeah.
ignorant shit. It is. It's ignorant. You know, it's violent.
Right.
It is not. It's
Mhm.
not moving us forward. And I feel like we could come together, but again, nigger shit where motherfuckers don't ever want to try to do anything positive. It's always something to bring somebody down. And I see that. Like me, I ain't no hater. You fly, I'm gonna be like, dang, that's kind of fly what you got on or whatever. Or if I see a bad bitch,
What happened, Leroy? He done
Just
dropped
something.
off. He done fly me. He said, you fly and done flew to the moon on us and shit. Hey, when he come back, I'm gonna say Leroy got to chop this up into 3 parts, right?
You
Because
got 4 parts because it's 110.
oh damn, oh it's 11 here. That's why I keep forgetting y'all time, yeah, because y'all over east. But we got it's still all tied into the healing, but we got the talking about how the
Other
performance
shit.
of healing in there. But look at it from this perspective. We got our personal healing journeys in there. We got ancestral healing journeys in there. We got what caused this fake and playing online healing journeys in there. And even this last part talk deeper into the traumas that still need some healing in there. So this and I'll be paying, I'm like really paying attention to some of the stuff. I'm like, oh, this is a good viral, this is a good viral. And not that we need to negate everything to that, but we got some viral moments in this
Hey,
motherfucker
listen, so
tonight.
I just want to say, off the record, I just want to say, so my dad, when he left Mississippi, he fled Mississippi.
I understand.
He had to, no, he ran from some white men. They were trying to kill him.
That's why I said I
Mhm.
understand, because my granddad did the same thing. TC did the same thing.
Yeah, he was one of those people that had to get in the trunk of a car and had in the house and go to this person's house to get to the bus station, and
Yeah.
he had a straw hat on. And yeah, so my dad, when he went to stay in Chicago, when he fled to Chicago, he never came back to stay.
And wait, people don't give that respect to Chicago, that was a real safe haven for our people. People could forget that the Chicago Defender, that newspaper, it was calling our people out of those places. Hey, come up here. We got
And that's
room and board for you. We got
what
jobs for you. We got money. We got the policy thing going on. With the
can you hear
people,
me now? Hmm.
can't hear me.
Interesting.
I can't hear you.
No. Okay, wait.
hello.
Y'all guys got to get it together over there. I mean, you going out, his mic
I
going
need
out.
to get one of them mics like Leroy got, cause my mics is Bluetooth, so they only give me an hour what's the name time. I use these for like workshop. I do like I do my voiceovers for videos and stuff, so I ain't talking for that long, and I probably just don't never be charging them up fully either.
Look, I'm gonna say this, and we need to wrap it up because it is almost 1:30. So, I feel like we definitely touched so many aspects of healing, right? And I feel like healing is definitely a journey. I think that it's something that we never gonna stop doing until the day we die. We have something's gonna happen in your 40s that you're gonna have to heal from. Something's gonna happen in your 50s that you're gonna have to heal from. So it's a continuous journey. With that being said, it looks good to me. It feels good.
I agree.
It can get a little lonely, but it's very peaceful, and I would take my sanity over chaos, because that's what not healing will bring you. Chaos. It will keep you in chaos. It will keep you in distress. It will keep you in places that you should not be. It'll have you doing things that you should not be doing. And it'll keep you from like naturally growing and enjoying the rich life. You know what I mean? Because you'll always be defensive or have those mechanisms.
Okay, now can y'all hear me now?
Just
can
not
you hear me
being
now?
able to deal with just the typical issue, or
Yes, sir. And when you're doing the editing, Leroy, this last part, what he said, I'm making this suggestion. Of course, you ain't got to listen to me if you don't want to, but this last part that he said, that should be the intro for real. That should be like the commercial or something. She was talking about how we had all these different aspects of healing, but she loved it. You know what I'm saying? Because healing is something that go on for the rest of your life. Like you're gonna forever be healing. You don't know what might happen in your 40s, 50s, whatever. It's something you gotta heal. And especially if you live in
what people don't understand is there's
doing
3 types of healing, and you always doing them like in conjunction with each other. There's spiritual healing, there's physical healing, and then there's emotional healing. And you gotta always be working on all 3 at the same time. You might be physically okay. I just said this.
Wait. Don't forget the mental healing. Don't forget the mental.
Well, emotional is mental.
Oh, I thought you said spiritual, emotional, and physical. No, but it's in there now. I don't know. I feel my emotions somewhere else now. God damn it, Leroy. We listen. When we start making some money off this podcast, we buying Leroy all the equipment. Okay, that's the first investment we making with the money, is getting Leroy the equipment.
I know. Look, and I'm over here. I got the incense. My incense. This is a long one. So
wait, look. I knew we was talking about healing, so I got my stones with me. My good ones. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put my good healing stone. So my wife, with one, we purchase and create. It's called Dope Stone Bracelets. We got a website and everything, but we source. I won't say purchase because I don't like saying buying stuff like that, stuff that come from the earth. So we source really good stones from reputable places, and we create pieces for people based on where they at, like you were just saying about that healing in their journey. You know what I'm saying? So that's what our house is all about. Everybody, like even Starving Student, that's where they really came out of, healing. That's why it's strategic thinking and habits for vital inner navigation, because you really got to go inside to heal. You do got to protect your environment to heal as well, because outside forces do change who you are, but it really started in here. So we like really serious about healing in this household, and that's why people call me Doc. They've been calling me that since I was a kid, because my dad's mama, that's what she was. She was a healer. My whole family on both sides, really, I come from healers. You know what I'm saying? So that's like in me.
a healer.
And I can hear I'm telling you right now, some of the stuff that you said to me blew me away. Not because we got these things in common, but we do, but because it take a lot to be able to come to to experience the things that you experience and not put them on somebody else, for your parents and for you. And I said it earlier, I'm like, you that matriarch. I didn't even know the backstory yet, but we've been talking long enough that I knew that from the first day.
Definitely, I am that person that everybody calls.
Me too. It's stressful.
Person to go to college in my family. I was the first person to
Okay.
buy a house.
Well,
in my
y'all
family,
make sure we
you know.
let it. I'll stop.